What's going on, everybody? It's the Drinking with Drew show. Yes, we survived Cinco de Mayo slightly. It is officially May 6th, Tuesday. We have an awesome show planned tonight. We have attorney John DeGirolamo in studio. And for the first time ever, he is going to sponsor his own camera. So we have Johnny D on the InLawWeTrust.com camera. We have Brad Mader in studio. We have Pajama Joe, and allegedly Lusty Laura is somewhere in the building. I have no idea. She's not sitting next to me right now. She's supposedly coming in at some point, hopefully, to switch cameras. So we'll see where she's at and what she wants to do. We have a pretty packed pamphlet tonight. A lot to talk about, but we're going to talk about some family law stuff, being that we have attorney Johnny D in the studio. So it's awesome to have him here. Brad Mader has a new release that he's going to talk about that he surprised us with last week. And he didn't even talk about it on the show before he released it. So I'm mad at him. So we're going to talk about that. And other than that, I think Pajama Joe might have some news as well. We're going to talk to him about that. It's a surprise nobody knows about. All right. Here we go. The Drinking with Drew show. My name's Drew. I have a beer somewhere. I don't know where it's at. Laura, can you find my beer? As long as we can hear us, that's fine. Fuck the intro. All right. Everybody is officially off mute.
You're talking.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
All right. We're good.
We're good.
Let's welcome our awesome guest, Johnny DeGirolamo. What's up, man?
Yeah, good to be here, man.
Yes. He finally came in after begging. I mean, literally, I was begging him every week.
Please, standing outside the door.
Yeah. And he was in such a hurry to get here, he missed the exit.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
But
it happens to us all the time.
where you at, Joe?
I don't know.
Where you at? Are you there?
There we go.
All right, there you are.
It's happened to me. I've missed the exit coming home. I've missed the exit going to the airport. I've gotten on going north when I have to go south. It happens.
I did that twice.
Welcome, Brad Mader.
Hi.
Oh, my God.
Sup?
Hello.
He's shiny today.
You are shiny.
Yeah. You like that?
Did you get
Little
an extra wax?
You look like that AI generated image that Joe made
That
this
Joe
weekend.
put up there. Yeah.
Got all the old buffer wheel, shine up the skull.
There you go.
Little dome wax.
No hat.
Do you actually shave it, or do you use one of those?
Right. No, I shave it every day, man.
Every day?
Whoa.
Every day.
God, I'm high.
You're high?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Turning it down.
Little OCD. I gotta do it.
No, I get that. Yeah.
Is that like a shower thing, or is that like yeah, okay.
Mhm.
I'm not picturing it in my head. I was just
Oh, you are.
Sure. Yeah, he is.
You were licking your lips, then you took a swig of beer. Just
Brad
cover
in the
that shit
shower,
up.
shaving his head. Oh my God.
I don't want to go down this rabbit hole, but do you use one of those in-shower mirrors?
No.
So this is just
He's-
freehand.
He's got
This
it
is
down
all
pat.
He's just been going
From
doing it so long.
1997. I think I got it down.
A ton of.
Now you go from left nut, right nut, bald head, bald.
Ass, back, then face.
my
Oh, you go
God,
backwards.
So much.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I thought it
I'd
sounded
rethink
good.
that order, wouldn't you?
I saw it in a movie.
But again,
once.
1997. You
I
know?
mean, anything's
The 90s were crazy.
The 90s got
It all works. all
No,
good.
just head, face. I'm good.
Okay. So
Now, you know my shaving habits.
yeah, I mean,
Thank you.
I consider myself, blessed to know that now.
No, I know.
I'm going to go home and write about it in my journal.
I saw your shoulders droop and you sunk back in your chair after you got that information. So,
yeah, he got a little excited. He was like, whoop, whoop,
Well,
whoop,
there we
whoop,
go.
whoop.
I like that.
All right.
Now what, Drew?
Well,
What other tricks you got?
So you had a release and you didn't tell us?
yeah, what was that all
I
about?
mean,
This-
every time Drew has a release, we all know about it.
yeah, even my neighbors can hear it.
Advertise-
You know
it.
about Simon Runs.
Yeah, the building shake, everything happens.
So what release are you talking
Not
about?
like that video.
Your Ramones little.
That was actually done like a couple of years ago.
Oh, I didn't hear it.
I just reposted it and everybody started freaking out.
Yeah, I mean, but
Thanks for Facebook being right on point.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's not on any of the EPs you've put out,
No.
so you kind of kept it in your pocket.
Yeah, I just wanted to put it out. I always loved that song, Miracles, and
Yeah.
I knew I could do a heavy version of it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just
Okay.
record it one day, and I still want to shoot a video for it. I got an idea for it, so I'll talk to you later about that.
All right.
Ooh.
Oh, an off-camera conversation.
Off-camera
Yeah.
conversation. All right.
It might start from the ass to the back, but
Oh shit. Okay.
see what I did there?
Yep. Yep.
I definitely saw it.
I
Yeah.
don't want to see it, so yeah.
Laura's
It will haunt
Laura's
my
so
memories
snickety.
forever.
Laura's so snickety lately. Such a prude. Joe, did you?
I'm sorry. Do you want to see his ass?
I
I don't even want to see my ass.
I mean, it wouldn't bother
It
me
came-
either way. I mean, I've seen
It came
asses.
standard with the body. I don't want to. I don't even want to look back there.
Yeah.
This is a different podcast than
Yeah,
I thought it was going to be
it
so far.
kind of goes a little crazy sometimes.
And for that reason, you're out.
Yeah. Joe, did you see the extra light that I put on you tonight? See?
Extra
Yeah.
light.
This one over here?
Yeah. Give
I
you a
did
little,
know.
give you a little
I'm
side
side
light.
light.
Yeah, a little side light because you've been a little dark lately. So
Well, it's you gotta,
That's racist.
go on the image.
yeah, you had to spruce you up a little bit.
Okay.
So I took that one down because I think that one was blinding you last week.
Yeah, and the one up there was just giving me spots.
Well, I mean, I turned that one down a smidge, but I
It makes a big difference.
turned this one off. You remember that one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, just making sure you knew.
And this one makes me glow in the dark.
It does. It does.
It's it's the camera and the lighting that makes you glow in the dark. Yeah, we're gonna believe that.
We still have the Drinking with Drew camera 6. Show that. Okay. Boom. See? Perfect.
Boom.
Now,
You should get that made into one of those. Was that cornhole?
yeah,
Oh yeah.
That would
very
look
good
kinda
idea.
cool. I actually thought. Thank you, buddy. I actually thought that's what it was when I walked in here. I thought it was just.
It could
you know,
be. I mean, we
I
could
thought it was
definitely
just-
just
Yeah.
throw shit at it. Yeah.
Well, it looked like it, and I was just like, oh, that's a good prop.
Yeah.
But now that I look at it, I mean, you guys could. I mean, I'm sure you got all kinds of shit.
Don't
in the
give
backyard.
him
We do.
don't give him ideas because then I'm gonna have to make it.
we
That's true.
could put your face on the beanbag, so we're just like tossing your face in holes.
That's very funny.
Yeah,
actually.
Joe, why
Yeah.
haven't you made a
Uh-huh.
cornhole set yet?
Thanks a lot.
I didn't. Know, I was unaware of your.
No,
what-
I'm the resident woodworker, so
Oof.
I know he's gonna.
Joe
suggest that I
loves to
make
talk
it.
about his wood.
This show is wild so
He does,
far.
yeah.
I mean, this is something.
He's
Well,
like, oh God.
Let's give Johnny D his camera and talk about inlawwetrust.com. You can't see it, but your ad is up right now. So
Yeah, it's a good ad, isn't it?
it's a brilliant ad for Johnny D. DeGirolamo, inlawwetrust.com. And what do we say? If you need a D. No.
Wait, no.
No, what you say. If you're not getting the D.
Right.
Okay.
And you
Go
need
ahead.
a D. Call the D.
I
Your
told him-
unofficial,
Unofficial,
slogan.
not approved by the Florida Bar.
definitely not approved by the bar.
Non-attorney spokesperson.
Approved by all present here, though. But yeah, look, inlawwetrust.com. Family and divorce lawyers have been doing it for a long time. Enjoy the work. We help a lot of people. Check out our Google reviews. I always tell people they sell me, not me on the phone, not me talking to you. But yeah, look, we're doing a lot of good work, and we appreciate the ability to sponsor the show.
Now, when somebody calls me and says, I need a bulldog attorney, you're kind of the first person I think about as far as like a bulldog attorney. And I say that
In a loving way.
in a loving way,
Affectionately.
but also, you piss some people off within the legal industry because you don't roll over.
That's right. I mean, and look, I'm not running a popularity contest, right? The only popularity contest I'm running is on Google or with the clients. I mean,
Right.
I like to maintain relationships, and quite frankly, I try not to piss people off until they piss me off, right? And I just run kind of a practice that I think is just pretty pragmatic, pretty straightforward. And I'm not sure that a lot of lawyers like that. A lot of lawyers like to just run it mundane. They like to run up the bill. I'm kind of doing the opposite. And kind of when you zig and everybody else is zagging, that pisses them off. So, and then, yeah, I mean, look, I'm from Philadelphia. We can't really turn that off.
It's true.
So,
Very true.
But I've got a lot of friends in the community. Judges respect us. I somewhat don't care if the others do respect me. I mean, if the judges respect us, that's really what it's about.
Right.
Yeah. Let's talk a minute about, let's say somebody is thinking about getting a divorce.
Mhm.
Things aren't going right, and sometimes people go 5 years without things going right before they actually make that decision
Right.
to pull the plug or to, even consider talking to an attorney about divorce. The consultation, I tell people you'll give them a 5 or 10 minute conversation. You won't charge for that consultation.
Right.
What should people be prepared as far as the process, you know, because I do investigative work for you.
Mhm.
I serve papers for you.
Yeah.
It doesn't always go smooth. Like there's
Right.
not, you know, we would love to say every case is simple, yada, yada, but it just doesn't work that way. And I think the person who contacts you knows if it's going to be a complicated process.
Yeah, and you know, sometimes it's funny. They say, "Hey, I've got a real complicated case," right? Maybe they're pretty wealthy. They say, "Well, we've got 2 houses and 2 this, and we've got a couple of businesses." Quite frankly, that to me is a lot less complicated, right? I mean, I call those Oprah divorces, right? You get a house and you get a house.
Right.
And the hard ones are when they have, you know, very little. They, you know,
One dog.
1 dog, 1 kid.
Well, you can get
1
half a
house.
dog.
You cannot do that. But ultimately, you know, the complicated cases are the ones that I think can be more straightforward. But either way, all these cases to me are kind of the same. Yeah, there might be a different color here or a different line over there, but to me, they're all kind of the same if you keep them on the same sort of system. That's what we specialize in. We have a great process, start to finish, get them in, and you know, our process keeps them coloring inside the lines. I think a lot of lawyers just, you know, because people are panicked, right? Oh, I want this and I want this motion and this, that, and the other. I kind of just try and calm them down, reframe it, and just keep them on the path. If you want your case done in 4 to 6 months, you know, we'll get your case done in 4 to 6 months. If you want your case to just linger and these nightmare stories that you hear about online or from your friends, you know, that usually comes from different firms, not mine.
Right.
Or you have that other party who's just petty and
Can't
wants
stop.
to drag it out.
Right.
Right.
He showed up at my soccer game. What'd you want him to do?
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, that's, you know, typically what happens.
Yeah.
But usually when I have a consult, I ask people, you know, what are your burning questions, right? One guy might call me and say it's about his kids. The next guy calls me, it's about his 401k. The next guy calls, it's about his house. I just want to know what your, you know, right away. And also when people call my office, I typically call them within an hour, right? I
Right.
surprise them by calling. I don't know why they call usually, right? I know that's going to be family law, maybe divorce, maybe paternity, but I like to call them because I want to catch them off guard, right? I don't want them to have a set of questions that they found on Google that says what you should ask your lawyer, right?
Right.
I want them to ask me questions that are coming right from the heart, you know, right away, kind of impulsive, and then I can get a sense for the client, right? If it's a kid oriented, if it's a money oriented, you know, and I can kind of take it from there. And usually people just want to be heard, right? They want to get it a little bit off their chest, right? That's the counselor part of the attorney and counselor at law, right? I'm happy to have that, you know, I'm happy to embody that. But in true reality, I just want to get you within the first hour that you call the office, and I want to hear what your real issue is.
Right.
I also try and stop them from saying, "Well, my wife said this," or my spouse told me this. Is this true? Is this true? Hey, I don't want to know about what she's concerned about, or
Right.
you know, I want to know what you're concerned about.
Right.
What happens if you use a different search engine other than Google?
You want to use a different one? Is that what you're saying?
He shows up on Bing too.
Oh, yeah, Bing.
Gronk or something.
Yeah, there's
It's a list of questions.
some sort of duck something or other. Which I'm good with all those. I mean, we're very popular on all.
I'm trying to get well informed here.
Yeah, look, we're very popular on the internet, and as a general comment.
We are too.
Okay,
Yeah.
lovely. Yeah, we are. Yeah.
We're on Feet Finder.
Oh, okay. Wow. I
So
like that.
You see that turn
Is that-
there? Did
are
you see
they
that turn that we
yeah.
just did there?
And for that reason, you're out.
Are they a sponsor?
No.
No.
not yet.
No.
We're still looking.
Okay.
Yeah. We have a
We've
few
got a feelers.
feelers out there, you know.
Yeah.
We're still trying to get party liquors.
I like that. Yeah.
They did let me put stickers in the business card holder at the counter. So
Nice.
You did get the ketchup one, right?
I did.
Just
Yes.
got him.
I got
Just
it.
got him in the
Yeah.
mail.
Yep. Got them today.
When you get a cease and desist, what you should do is write the letter
Yes.
back, and you should say, "Why wouldn't you be a sponsor?" Make them think.
That's very true.
Right.
You know, make them really consider.
Yep. So when somebody contacts you about the complicated divorce,
Hmm.
is it automatically going to cost more?
Not with us. We quote everybody the same, whether you're, you know, the owner of Best Buy or you work at the Best Buy. It doesn't quite frankly matter to us. Because again, we're doing this process, right? We're keeping it in the same in front of us. We're keeping them on the same process. You know, it shouldn't cost more. What costs more is the extra motions and this, that, and the other. But if you have client control and you kind of stamp it down, you kind of let them know why doing it now might not be the best, best reason to do it, et cetera. And quite frankly, I mean, you know, people are happier when they spend less and they get the better result. You know,
Yeah.
but a complicated divorce doesn't have to be complicated. A wealthy divorce versus a one that doesn't have a lot of money, they don't have to be different. The process is the same, you know,
Right.
in the same way that when people call and they say, well, we don't have anything, I don't have anything together, we just kind of want like a simple divorce. Well, that doesn't mean I don't have to, you know, because they cost the same, right? They expect that to be less.
Mhm.
Well, I still have to draft all the same documents and write zero,
Right.
or nothing, or he keeps his and she keeps hers. So again, I just kind of broke the whole thing down and just, you know, and just made it just the same process for everybody. And all the reviews that we have, et cetera, they're all the same from different walks of life.
Right.
They're you know what I mean? So that's kind of what we
Now,
think about a
on your
complicated
ad, it
divorce.
says you specialize in divorce for men.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean you won't take cases for women, but
Correct.
you do specialize in men divorce. Is there a specific reason why you wanted to target that niche?
I think, you know, there's a couple of reasons. I think that, you know, it's a lot easier to come at a divorce from a place of, you know, where someone thinks they're going to lose everything, right? Just very rarely do I get calls from women who think they're going to lose everything unless they're in that position.
Mm-hmm.
And for one reason or another, it's typical that the man is sort of in charge, right? The man is the one who's been taking care of the finances, possibly the breadwinner, et cetera, right? And I'm not saying that's cool or right or whatever. I'm just saying that's traditionally how a lot of households are operating. But I also have a lot of, you know, women clients who are doctors, right?
Right.
And their husbands are stay-at-home moms. I just seem to do better with the breadwinner. I seem to do better with the person who just has more to lose.
Mhm.
You know, psychologically, I can kind of speak to them better and just get them comfortably uncomfortable with the fact that, yeah, you're probably gonna have to pay a little bit. Yeah, you know, your 401k is not going to look the same, but you know what, you're going to make it back. I connect better with those people, and coming at that angle, I just
Right.
connect better. You know, go.
I was going to say, question in the comments from Lisa. She wants to know if you also do prenuptial agreement.
She's asking for a friend, though.
Asking for a friend,
Of
though.
course,
right?
yeah, because nobody thinks about divorce before they get married, right?
No, of course not.
I don't personally do prenups, at least not the drafting. I review a lot of them. I argue over them. I mean, that's kind of my thing. I pass those to people who have, you know, I run trial practice. So I'm in court or mediations 4 days a week minimum. So I just don't have the time to sit around and draft.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep my associates who work for us, or work with us, I suppose. I keep them busy with the litigation stuff. So I review them because then I can get a sense, and I can kind of talk to the person who drafted it, and we can negotiate on that on behalf of a Lisa or someone like that. But you know, if Lisa called our office, I would pass them to a capable hand.
Now, can we ask, what was the craziest thing that you've seen in a divorce settlement? Like just something like they weird expectations, or?
Well, there's a lot of weird expectations in the sense that they're just so unreasonable. I mean, that's usually where like some of the stories come from.
Yeah. We want to hear some crazy stories.
Yeah, I mean, you know, most of the crazy stories come from when I used to
When you used to
practice
hire
criminal
me.
law. Yeah. When I used to practice criminal law, or I've had, you know, we've had some people have to hire Andrew, and you know, the stuff that they sort of ask him to do are a little wacky. I mean,
And what's weird is when they hire me, and just to kind of clarify, people, and mostly that we deal with Florida cases,
Mhm.
you know, Florida in and of itself, you're divorced if your
Right.
husband's cheating, if you're whoever. It's not one of those states where if your spouse is cheating on you, it's going to matter in your divorce.
Right.
But still, people hire an investigator because they want that knowledge of knowing. And obviously, if you have somebody spending all buttloads of money on their girlfriend,
Mhm.
that can technically matter in a divorce proceeding. But, you know, and that's where, you know, sometimes they'll hire me to find out, you know, if they're taking the girlfriend to, you know, expensive dinners and
Mhm.
yada, yada. I think on one of your cases that I worked, and I won't go into details, but
Certainly.
there were certain items that one of the parties was throwing in the trash
Right.
that I thought were very sentimental to your client.
Right.
And he wanted those items back.
Right.
And so we provided those items back to the client, and he was like, that just shows the spitefulness.
Yeah.
It wasn't monetary value. It was
wasn't
sentimental.
sentimental
Right.
stuff that she was just literally tossing in the trash.
Right. Which
And-
is, you know, shitty, of course. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, and that's sort of, you know, I give them a speech before they hire, you know, kind of like you're saying, like, hey, look, you can spend tons of money doing this. You can go down this rabbit hole, but it doesn't necessarily matter to the case.
Right.
And if they still want to do it, then I'm happy to send you the business and get them that peace of mind.
Mhm.
Quite frankly, sometimes I'd like them to have the peace of mind and then come into the divorce, because if I have to, every month I have to still deal with I really think she's cheating. I really think, you know what I mean? Like every
Right.
month I have to have that
Mhm.
conversation. Like, that's tough. I need these clients to be in a mind frame that they're ready, to be focused. They're ready to be reasonable. And God forbid we get past mediation, they're ready to go to trial.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but there are other cases, like you said, like, yeah, look, they might hire you to look around, and then you find this dot that connects to that dot that connects to that dot, and then we blow the case wide open,
Right.
right? We find a plane ticket to Aruba, right? And then we can make a difference. But most of the time, yeah, it's just a need to know, which that's a human nature thing. And,
Right.
quite frankly, it's kind of a little outside my jurisdiction,
Laura,
What-
do you want to read the comments?
Yeah. So Lisa and Keller are two of our watchers. We're gonna call them watchers.
Yeah.
But Keller says, as long as he can keep the weed, he's in Colorado, so this is all legal. As long as he can keep the weed, the wife can have everything else. And Lisa says she wants half.
Yeah, we see and look, sometimes clients have different priorities,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, talk briefly about the difference between attorney fees and costs, because that, as an investigator and process server, that's kind of the thing that I run into, is law firms not explaining to clients when they're hired that there's a difference between those attorney fees and costs, and court reporters,
Right.
Process servers, investigators, things that aren't necessarily within the attorney fees. And then some firms surprise the client 3 months later,
Right.
and say, oh, you need to pay this.
Yeah, so sometimes, firms they'll do an attorney's fees retainer and then a cost retainer.
Right.
They'll leave the cost retainer in the trust fund, and then as your fees come up, or a court reporter fee comes up, or a depot transcript needs to be ordered, they use that cost retainer. I don't like to do that because that's a lot of accounting. I then am paying my bookkeeper, I'm paying my admin to kind of do all that stuff. It just isn't. That's just not how I do it.
Mhm.
We charge the first retainer. We do pay the filing fees out of that. Okay. But I've charged with that in that already.
Mhm.
Right. Other than that, everything else is paid directly. It's in the retainer. And I try to explain that very quickly, because a common question is, we quote the retainer and we kind of go through how the process works, the replenishment, et cetera. And then they say, well, should I expect any other costs? Yeah. There's going to be a process server fee. And then, if we have to have a substantive hearing, there's going to be a court reporter fee. And then when we go to mediation, unfortunately, which is, should be a deterrent here for continuing to mess around in the legal system,
Right.
you're going to have to pay me, and then you're going to have to pay half this mediator. And of course, if they're very wealthy and say the wife hasn't worked, or the spouse doesn't work, they're going to probably pay at least 80% of that
Right.
mediation. So I let them know that kind of stuff. So when I quote them, because they always want to know, well, how much is this going to cost, right? I give a broad range. And then I also say, and plus it's probably another 15 to 2,000 on top of it with costs
Mhm.
that have nothing to do with me. I don't see a dime of it. A lot of the people I work with are friends like you and I, but that's like outside of it. That's just
Right.
a bonus. That's not me getting a cut. You're not kicking me back,
Right.
10 on every like, that's just not how it works. A lot of people think it's how it works, but it's not how it works.
Yeah. I get that question all the time,
What?
just what am I paying, like, percentage wise?
Right.
It's like, oh, is the attorney, what percent does the attorney get? I'm like, they're not getting any percentage. Like,
Oh,
that
yeah,
doesn't
no.
make any sense. I'm being paid by the attorney or by the client, either way. But yeah, I see some cases just go on in 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. Like, Jesus Christ, man, what makes a case continuously drag on? There was a case that was just in, I think it was Creative Loafing or one of the,
Right.
magazines, where I think it started in early 2000s or something. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So-
I just don't have those cases. I don't know. I just don't have those cases. If I have a
Yeah.
long running case, I probably took it over.
Yeah.
Right. And it's kind of like cooking a dinner. Name your chef, Bobby Flay, whatever you want to say. If the dinner's burning, like, you got to start over.
Right.
So and a
For
lot
that
of times,
reason, I'm out.
oh, yeah, exactly. Right. And I should be out on some of those, but I just think that I mean, I just got an attorney's fees affidavit for a case that's been 8 months, $125,000.
Damn.
I just have no idea. I just don't know how that. I just have no idea.
They used to buy a house.
Yeah, I just have no, and that's also wild to spend that kind of money. I just have no idea how to bill clients like that.
Yeah,
I have
pretty
two
insane.
other attorneys who work with us. I have even if the three of us were sitting in on the same exact thing, doing repetitive work, I have no idea how to do that. And quite frankly, I mean, that's certainly a value add for us. I mean, I think that's why one of the reasons we have so many good reviews, because I mean, it's just like anything else. Like, you have a great steak, but it's $90. You're not going to write a good review.
Right.
You just don't feel great about it. Great steak, $45, $50 in this day and age. That's probably pretty good. You might write a great review. So we're giving a lot of value for the money, and I'm certainly respectful of people who
That sounds great, but I hope I never use you.
Yeah, look, a lot of people say that. Nobody wants to have an attorney on call. Nobody wants to talk to us until they need us. Unfortunately, nobody wants to need us. I agree.
Right.
You're the best
Dave,
service
if you're
that you hope you
watching,
never need it.
I
Yeah.
love you.
Yeah, look, it's cheaper to keep her, man. You know what I mean?
Speaking of which, Joe, do you want to be the beer wench tonight?
Joe's always the beer wench.
Are we ready?
Well, we might
Are
as
you
well
ready?
get it out and talk about it, and then we'll continue with our family law conversation. So you used to do some criminal defense work.
Yeah.
And a little bit of acting.
A little bit of acting. Yes, it's true.
Oh, that's true.
Are we-
Yeah.
You gonna find that video?
I don't know. We'll see.
That was a great
That
time.
was a great time. Was a great time. Yeah.
He was trying to figure out. He's like, how
I'm
long
like,
have
well-
I known Johnny? And I'm like, he's like, maybe like 5 years. Like, there's no fucking way. I'm like, we've been dating longer.
didn't
You've
say
known him
5
long.
years.
You were saying like a short, like maybe you said 7 years or something. Like he was undershooting it. I go, you literally made a video with Devo and him, and that was like when you first started your business. I'm like, so it's
I can
been
tell
like
you-
12 years.
I mean, that's actually a really great video because you had short, like,
I did. Let's show it right
you
now.
had like short, normal looking, like.
Yeah.
Meet John Q, applicant. He wants a job at your company. He wants to be your next tenant. He may even want to date your daughter.
But what do we really know about him? CLC will run nationwide criminal, civil, and credit checks to keep your family, community,
freaking
and business
guy.
Little
safe.
baby.
Let us find out what you don't know.
Contact CLC Screenings today and receive your first application free.
Who did the voiceover?
So that was Randy.
Oh
Yeah?
god,
yeah.
that was such a good
he,
video.
he was the videographer and whatnot. And
Yeah, I remember that guy. Yeah.
does
Can
some
we get that
voiceover
played
stuff.
at the end of each one of our shows?
So funny.
So the best part is that in order to get Diva to chase me like that, because Diva's probably one of the more well-trained dogs on the planet. In order to do that, I had to have one of those like pepperoni
Yeah.
sticks,
Right.
and I had to hold it in my like suit coat, and I had to hold it like this, and I had to run with it like that. I mean, he was focused.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
We did that, probably two or
A
three
couple of
three-
times.
Yeah, he did pretty good. But the problem was he was completely off leash in Ybor City.
Yeah.
Right.
So we had to be
boy.
really careful about
Right.
how we were doing this.
When
And it was
strangers
like
walking
what a-
down the street.
Well, yeah, it was like a Sunday,
Yes.
probably like 10 a.m. or something, you know.
Yeah.
So I think we did we do that scene first or did we do that one? I don't remember. But-
Probably last because he'd be all sweaty if you started.
well, it was
with the
kind of
running.
raining too that morning or something.
Yeah.
It was like
I
an
don't remember
overcast
the
day.
order we did it in, but
But
it was.
yeah, that was an interesting day. I think we knocked that out in about 5 or 6
It
hours.
was not
though.
really that long, to be honest with you. I given the fact that we're dealing with an animal,
Yeah.
and then Devo, and then
He made the joke before I could.
Yeah.
I was thinking.
I
the
think
same
we all
thing.
had that one queued up.
Yeah.
but Randy was great.
Yeah, we tried.
And that came together like on script, like that came together exactly how we planned it.
Yeah. Laura wants me to go back to that haircut. I'm like,
That was wild. Like,
yeah, it was. It was a fun time.
That's what he looked like when he moved in here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's probably true.
I was
yeah.
Mr. Businessman back then.
it was a bait and switch for
Yeah.
all of us.
For all of us.
I don't. I never remember you looking like that.
You
man.
never knew him. Then.
Now,
Well, I've known.
Wait, that's true. You have known him for a
no,
while.
I've known him for
now,
a while.
Brad, do you hear the background music in that video? You know who provided that little clip of music?
Yeah, play it again.
I didn't
Jerry
hear it.
Mortallero.
Oh, yeah, your bud.
Yeah. I'm like, hey man, I need some music for my TV commercial, and he's like,
Dude, man.
So did that play on Bay News 9 or what?
I've been building guitar. Look at all these guitars
Yeah,
I built.
that's what
All
that-
2 of them.
yeah, that's back when he worked with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's try this beer. Orange Blossom Brewing. Or no, it's not orange. Is it? No,
Don't
it's,
drink yet.
What is it? It's not
It's Orange Blossom Brewing.
Okay.
Orange Blossom Pilsner.
Okay.
It's 5.5%.
Honey Pilsner.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Where's
There are 2.3 teaspoons of pure orange blossom honey in every can.
Yeah.
But don't go thinking you're getting a mouthful of sweetness. The fermentation process gives it a crisp, refreshing flavor, sans candy assery.
Sans.
So
Sans.
crack
Sans
open a
without.
cold one. The bees need the work. Bam.
All right. Well,
What do orange blossom bees look like?
not sure, but we're about to figure out
They're
what they taste
regular
like.
bees that go to orange blossoms.
Do we know where this brewery is?
It says on there
Lakeland,
some-
Florida.
Is it in Lakeland? Wow.
There
Yeah,
you go.
brewed by
Yep.
OBP LLC, Lakeland, Florida.
Orange blossom.
So it's local.
If you consider Lakeland.
Yeah.
Oh, local-ish. I mean, it's
Yeah.
still in the Florida general area.
I used to live in Lakeland. I would not live there again.
All right, Johnny
You know my
D,
feelings on Polk
you
County.
are the guest of honor, so we are going to let you crack it open
Correct.
and give it the official taste test.
You can. I actually just only tasted like a little bit. You can actually taste the honey.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, where's our?
Where's your
Your
bubbles?
bubbles.
Oh, there you go.
Gotta do it again.
Try it again.
Drink again.
We got to redo it, John.
Take 2.
Just like the commercial.
Now do a shot of Kraken. No.
Are we shotgunning that? Is that what you said?
No.
No,
A shot of
the
Kraken.
Kraken.
Oh.
The whiskey.
I think it's pretty
Fan?
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'll put honey on anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
I mean,
Whoa.
hot honey. I drink a lot of hot.
Nobody was going there. Come
I was
on.
going to leave it alone. I had a wiener joke, but
I drink a lot of hot toddies.
oh, okay.
I feel
You
Weird.
talk about weird. Oh, okay. I drink a lot of hot toddies, and then I also drink hot toddies.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Make it a little spicy.
Okay.
This is good.
All right, Brad.
For Jason.
I mean, it's almost there. It's almost there. All right. Did you almost spill it?
Yeah.
Opened it too quick? Did Joe shake it? Yeah. Yeah. No, not a
Not
fan.
feeling it.
Too light and crispy for you?
Yeah. That's like a weird aftertaste for me.
Okay.
It's not horrible. It's not like the last 2,
Oh God, right?
Not like Berry Monkey?
which I was ready to give up my credit card information not to ever drink again.
Okay.
By the way, Keller says Nancy looking sweet after your video.
He get a
For
still
those-
frame of that.
Keller calls Drew Nancy Drew because he's in
Mm-hmm.
long hair and everything.
Whatever. All right, Pajama Joe.
I'm not too thrilled on the smell of it. I haven't
Oh,
tasted it yet.
that'll
but
ruin
just
it
kind of
for me.
smells funny.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ran out of bubbles.
Doesn't taste bad. I like it.
I agree with that.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I like it a lot or just a little, but I got to give it some time to settle in. It doesn't have strength. Like it doesn't have a bite, and it doesn't have like.
Mine's
it's
foaming
obviously
too,
not.
Joe.
It's a pilsner, so
Maybe
Did yours
they're just
foam up?
full.
no, mine didn't foam.
Mine did.
I don't know.
Yours
It's
just
kind
were a
of.
little more
It's not
full.
too. It's not too potent.
It's literally coming
Yeah,
out of the
it's
lid,
literally
so
at
it's
the
just
top.
yeah. That's why
It's
Yeah, it's
light.
good.
Yeah.
To me, I was tasting like an afterbite with it, though. But
I haven't gotten that, but we'll see.
This thing is full. Like it's literally opened up and it's
I agree with that.
It's
Yeah.
coming all the way off out of the can.
Yeah.
Do you need a paper towel?
Yes,
It's down here with your.
they're doing everything in their power to get
Secret.
rid of that beer.
apparently.
Do you want to try it first, or you want
It's
to try it
under
first?
the table.
That's all right. We'll get it.
Figure it out later.
All right, I'm gonna try it.
Okay, go ahead. Don't forget your bubbles.
Well, I can tell you one thing.
Oh boy.
Only one.
It's not cold enough for me, which is
I would agree with that, but I was
kind of
Yeah.
which is kind of my bad because
Definitely.
I did buy these at noon and they've been in the refrigerator since at least 1 o'clock.
It tastes good though.
But
I'm not suggesting that Joe should get us cups of ice. I'm just saying if we had cups of ice and we let this sit on ice,
it would have probably been better.
right?
Yeah.
We may, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I
agree with
it's
that.
It's probably at like
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Maybe that's that afterbite.
That might be.
Yeah,
just
the warm.
There's a warm beer afterbite, but I like.
Yeah.
I mean, it's.
if this was like a nice 32 degrees, 30.
Yeah,
What is it?
leave it up-
32.5.
Leave it up to an attorney to figure it all out.
Yeah.
That's what we
Or-
need in this show.
More
Colder
attorneys in
beer.
the show. Yeah, cold. I mean, but I still like the taste.
It's not. I mean, I don't hate it.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I'll finish it.
Yeah, I could drink these.
It's like a summertime.
I do taste the honey though.
Yeah, you do, don't you?
Yeah.
That's right.
I think that's.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
That's interesting. Oh yeah, go
Laura
ahead.
is going to
I always
try
hate
her
them.
beer. She hates
Now that
beer.
we just yeah.
Oh, I always go last because I always hate them.
Okay.
Okay, the smell isn't bad. It's not bad. I can do that one.
Holy
Wow.
shit.
I know. I know, right?
Crazy.
Oh my, that never happens.
That never happens.
No.
I'm not
Never, ever
suggesting.
happens.
I mean, maybe the name is just what's like. This isn't an orange beer, right? This isn't a.
No, it's a
No,
honey.
it's a
It's,
honey
the
beer.
orange.
Right.
It's the blossom.
Oh.
It's the honey. It's just as. He's fine.
So Orange Blossom is obviously just the company,
Right.
Right.
but this is a honey beer.
Yes.
This is a honey pilsner.
Mhm.
That's what they're telling us, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have no objection. I do agree that it could be colder.
Objection overruled. Always wanted
Yeah.
to do that.
But I do think it's pretty good.
Laura likes a beer.
It's not bad.
I like a beer.
So there's no is there no beer that you'll drink?
There are like I like the blueberry beer.
Right.
What is it? The Sea Dog or whatever it is. So it just can't be like just regular beer flavor.
What about cider beers?
I can do ciders. Yeah.
There's a great cider beer out of that. You know that winery that's off of I-4 Keel and something.
Yep.
Or
Yeah.
other?
Killing Curry.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Curly.
There's a great.
Yeah. Most of their stuff I like.
Yeah, I haven't had a lot of their stuff.
Elderberry one?
No, it's their cider.
Yeah, the elderberry cider is one of their best
Mhm.
ones.
Maybe that one's it. They
Hard-
have it. They have it at a place I go to, and I think it's just awesome.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's where Jason plays all
He
the
plays
time.
there
Yeah.
once a month, and then
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know a lot about that place. I've actually never
I've
been
been there
there.
a lot of times.
Yeah.
What's the story? Is it?
It's a farm and it's a restaurant and brewery. They have big blueberry fields. We were there a couple of weeks ago for the blueberry festival.
Okay.
We came home with like for $6 a box. We had these big blueberries the size of your thumb.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they'll do like little night markets too, or not even night markets, like day markets where they'll have just vendors set up.
Yeah.
Not a
And
night
then-
market, but a day market.
Well, yeah, I
They
mean,
got these night
maybe
markets.
they do. There are some
It's-
night
it's a
markets.
night
I'm just saying,
market
like
in the-
time wise, it's
11
during the
o'clock in the
daytime,
morning.
right?
Yeah.
But then Jason, who's on the show a lot, he plays there once a month,
Yep.
so we've gone out there to see him play.
Yeah. Casino's right on the way back.
Yeah,
I mean, what
yeah.
you know?
It's true.
So is jail.
Yep. Yep. Get all
That's
the-
why
get
I'm
all
here as the
stuff.
Same
DD.
exit. Same exit.
Yeah,
Right.
It's right up the block from the dinosaur world.
Okay.
So you
Okay,
get-
PG.
I'm just saying, if you're looking for how do you get there, you see the dinosaur. That's the exit you get off.
Oh, for Killing Curly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
If you want to go to Goat Yoga, I think it's also down that same road.
Probably.
Oh, is that right?
I think
Mhm.
so.
Oh, okay. Are you doing that?
Oh, I have done
We
it.
did it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I like
I
that.
mean,
If you're
It's like-
going to do goat yoga, I don't know if I've said this before, but if you're going to do goat yoga, our tip is
Just
to
a tip.
be the very last row and try to be the last person the goats get to, because the goats will piss and shit along the entire way.
Mm.
And
Yep.
if you're the last one there, they're on empty. And then you can just cuddle the goats and not have to worry about ruining anything.
it's
I
true.
didn't really see Andrew as a front row yoga guy.
No.
You know what I mean? Like,
no.
Well, the view's better from the
no
back.
goats. I just
And
didn't see Andy in the
That's
front
why
row.
I don't go.
Yeah.
It was kind of like a gift to Laura. to
Yeah,
go
it was.
see the goats more so than the yoga.
No, I think that's cool.
right.
It was
They
like
did have
40 fucking degrees out too.
Oh.
Not a good time.
it was a
Dude.
Christmas gift, so it was around that time, and
Yeah.
it was
Yeah, I like that.
very chilly. But yeah, they did have like a yoga instructor. So if you really wanted to go there and do yoga, nobody did. Most people were like sitting on their mats waiting for the goats to come to them.
Right.
Nobody actually goes to do yoga. It's better than saying we're going to a petting zoo.
It's true.
Yeah, that's good.
And those are the same people that prolong divorces.
Those are,
It should be on the
I've done some
questionnaire.
research before I came tonight.
Have you been to goat
Put in.
yoga? Yes. Okay.
I've had to add stuff to my questionnaire
Yeah.
that I wouldn't think I would have to. Like, are you a sex offender?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Oh wow.
Well, this is
Okay.
Tampa, so
Yeah.
there's a really good chance it might be.
Yeah.
And you know what? All
You
kidding
should just
aside,
assume that they are.
the one that seems to be more prevalent now is the do you have your marijuana card?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Right? And and it's interesting because you've got judges who are our parents' age, right? And then you have judges who are our age,
Right.
and you have judges who are younger. All three of those demographics or age groups, or whatever you want to call it, think differently about weed,
Right.
right? The older generation, if they're not hippie, a drug is a drug is a drug.
Mhm.
Right.
And if you have children, it's a drug,
Yeah.
Right.
right? It's no different than cocaine. It's that's how they treat it. And then they get people who are our age who are kind of in the middle,
Right.
right? They see it as a medicinal. They see it as a drug, as a drug, as a drug. And then the younger judges are like, they're sort of starting that revolution where it's just like, yeah, look, it's a prescription.
Right.
And I've ran into a couple of issues where opposing counsel wants to use it as sort of a weapon, and people just want to sit back and say, well,
smoke all day. He doesn't take care of the kids. He
well, and that's the tough part, right? Because you test it, right? You test for weed, or you test for coke, or you test for whatever you want to test for. It doesn't say when he or she used it, right? It's just, it was a use. Could have been 3 weeks ago. It could have been yesterday.
Right.
So that's one that I've added to my intake form that is becoming more and more prevalent, as it seems to be the easiest thing in the world to get your marijuana
Well,
card.
and I have been hired to do garbage pulls. And
Is that
that's
right?
Like, are we going to find needles in the
Right.
in the garbage? But the thing is, I have people
Not if
call
they're
me.
disposed of properly.
Well, but I have people call me and they're like, hey, my baby's daddy has a new girlfriend and he's living with her, and I think they're smoking marijuana.
Right.
And I'm like, okay,
Oh,
that's not gonna hurt. Like,
It's
typically not going to be anything a judge is going to care about.
right. And I don't.
Versus they're shooting up in in the
Right.
bathroom with needles.
And that's the other thing too. I mean, that's just kind of almost a broader comment that, the ugliness of family law, like people will bring something having to do with the case, and the ugliness of family law makes what is otherwise, kind of an ugly situation look like nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, family law is just so ugly that some things are just so run of the mill. And I think that's what's happening with the medical marijuana stuff. I think it's starting to just become so rudimentary that
Mhm.
if it's not coke, if it's not heroin, if it's not, something else, meth, if we're in Lakeland, right? If it's not those, then it's just like, who cares?
Yeah.
And I'm not sure.
Hey, can we get Grady Judd on the show?
No.
Ooh, that would be wild. But quite frankly, I mean,
I'm gonna call him up.
I don't know what the right answer is, right? Because if these people have children, right, and something happens in the middle of the night, and they, people are always like, oh, well, I don't smoke until they go to bed. Well, what happens?
That's
if
the
you're-
time the kid gets
Yeah,
an
then what-
accident and you have to take him to the hospital.
right? And then you're driving inebriated. So it's. I also think it's
Well,
just
people are driving stoned all the time now. I mean, that's kind
Right.
of the norm.
well, if you ask
But
them,
it's the
first
same
of all,
thing
and by the
about
way,
drinking alcohol or whatnot too. I mean,
well, right, yeah, right, exactly. Like, I mean, kids go
Well,
to bed and you have a bunch of beers.
But there's a scientific test to determine your blood alcohol level. They're
It's
still
not
working
right.
on that test for marijuana. But here's what's going to happen. And I've warned people about this for years.
Go ahead.
There's so many people that smoke weed now that it's normalized, and they're driving, and they're once they get that science down and it is perfected and approved by NHTSA,
they're gonna find
National
a way to
Highway Safety Traffic, yada yada.
Mm.
They are going to start enforcing, and you're going to see DUIs called MUIs or whatever.
You're right. Yeah,
You
no,
know,
I agree. Right.
Driving while high, however you want the acronym for
Yeah.
it.
Well, that's why it's
They're
DUI,
gonna-
not
they're-
DWI.
They're going to, well, there are DWIs in different states.
Yeah.
It's just DUI in Florida. But you are going to start seeing people go to jail for driving under the influence of marijuana like crazy, because they're going to have a test for it. They're going to be able to know if you're currently smoking and high, and you're going to see it happen. I don't know when it's going to
easy
happen.
to spot. I mean, you don't really need that, because if they're on the highway and you're only driving 25 miles
But-
an hour, I mean,
I get it. But I'm just saying, once they figure out that test and that science, it's going to happen.
So I've always said a conspiracy theory that I have, because John Morgan was one of the biggest backers
For the
of the
people.
medical marijuana.
Right.
Morgan and Morgan for
Right.
the marijuana.
Right. And I think that he did that because he wanted to put more drivers on the road stoned.
Because he can get more cases out of that.
Because then all of a sudden there's more accidents.
Oh my God, that's genius.
Think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, it would make
because
sense.
what Andrew just said is true. There's no test for it.
No.
So people are going to be more apt to drive high. Most people who smoke a lot think that they're more, they're sharper.
I mean,
smarter,
normally they're
whatever
only
the fuck.
driving as far as Taco Bell.
And that might be true. But I mean, how
So
many?
there's a solution to that is to put more Taco Bells closer to the way the people are.
And that's why Joe is a genius.
Taco
Yeah.
Bell food truck.
But that's
Or
always been my conspiracy
Well, now we have
theory.
Uber
Yeah.
Eats, so
Or more Buc-ee's.
Right.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
just walk around staring. The
we
store for
do
an hour.
still have Bucky nuggets in there, Joe. If you need some Bucky nuggets, anybody?
I'm a Wawa guy, so I've not really been to a Buc-ee's.
Uh-oh.
There's none close. So
yeah.
unless you're
I've
traveling.
I've only been to one.
We got to break his cherry.
I've never been to one either.
We got to break your cherry.
I'll give it about a year. They're going to be everywhere.
Mhm.
I got no objection to them. I've not really sought them out.
Joe, that cherry's already broken, by the way. Sorry
Yeah.
to disappoint. But yeah, I mean, yeah.
Again, I
Brown
have no
chicken,
problem.
brown cow.
Marijuana, whatever people
I
want
don't
to do.
care about it. To me, it's not. It is what it is. But I'm just telling you that when it becomes scientifically available that they can prove the same way they're doing
Prove
blood
DUIs.
alcohol level, it's going to be.
Yep.
And here's the thing: I had a buddy go to try to buy a gun at Shoot Straight, and instead of pulling out his concealed weapons or his ID, he pulled out his marijuana card,
Right.
and they wouldn't sell a gun to him.
Yeah.
So
Bastards.
that is also going to be an issue because once you're labeled a marijuana user,
Mm-hmm.
places will refuse to fucking sell you a gun.
Well, isn't that what it's like? I mean, maybe Keller can answer because he's in Colorado. But once you have a medical marijuana card, you have to surrender your guns.
No, that's not true.
No, that's
No.
what I thought it was.
No, not true.
I think they probably want that.
Yeah, I think that's
Well,
a
let's
goal
ask Keller
of some
because-
people, but
Well, he's not answering yet.
He's
but
in
we'll
the
see.
right. We're delayed probably
Yeah, we
for a
got a
bit.
30-second delay, but
Mm.
I thought that was the case that you had to give up your guns.
well, you're assuming Keller has a gun.
No, I'm not saying him personally, but the stories I heard of people
Keller
that had
says,
family
he
members.
says, I don't drive because I'm always high.
There you go. He Ubers to Taco Bell.
Right.
Yes.
That's why you get Uber Eats to bring the Taco Bell.
Dude,
to
we
you.
tried to
Well,
mail. He
DoorDash.
Well, he
lives,
probably has Del Taco out there.
he lives such in the middle of nowhere. We tried to mail him a shirt and some Drinking with Drew garb, and it was like
Twice as much.
$27, $28 because
Yeah.
it was had to be rated for the mountains or wherever the fuck.
Right. It's only
Oh.
supposed to be like $15, and they're like, it's an extra $13 or $12.95.
It's
Keller-
hand delivered by donkey.
Keller says, no, you can own a gun here. He
Okay.
has 3.
I was under the impression that once you get your card, they ask you to surrender.
No,
Mm.
Okay.
but some
I
places
may have,
will.
I may have misheard it.
There's a form when you purchase a gun. There's a form that says, "Are you addicted to marijuana?" Like it literally says,
Oh, is that right?
Addicted or a user?
"Addicted."
Because the form that you fill out is
No
for
one
a
thinks they're addicted.
is a federal background check, right?
Yeah.
And it is still considered federally illegal.
Right. But it has the addicted is the term.
Okay.
And if you check
dick?
that box, they won't.
Dick.
You're
They,
still a
they
dick.
can refuse to sell you a firearm. So, but you can use it and not be addicted.
But if you have a concealed carry permit, you don't have to fill out the background check forms.
No,
Right.
you do.
Still
Mhm.
do?
Yeah.
They just do it every time still.
Yeah.
But you just get it right on the
You
spot.
still
though,
do.
right?
Yeah, but you still
Okay.
have a background check.
Oh.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Little off topic. But
Oh, okay.
You brought up something with me, and I just saw it the other day. They actually have those portable dyno tests for electric bikes. Did you see that?
No.
Yeah.
What is
so
it?
It's a little dyno, and they're pulling people over on those electric bikes,
Oh,
Really?
right.
and they're putting them on a dyno
What?
to see how much horsepower they're doing.
Oh my gosh.
And if they're over the limit, they write it or they impound the bike.
Really?
Yeah. I just saw
Well,
that
because
the
they're
other
riding
day. I
on the
was like, holy
sidewalks or
shit.
something like that?
Yeah, well, they're riding it like a bike, but it's got
Well,
instead
there's
of 49
federal-
cc's. They're like
There was
popping out 100 or whatever.
arguments over these e-scooters and whatnot, and if they were considered vehicles. And I worked a personal injury case, and John actually does some personal injury stuff as well.
That's right.
But a federal case law just came out that e-bikes and e-scooters are considered vehicles because State Farm was trying to refuse claims on cases involving e-bikes and scooters. And I had a client that we just went through a whole ordeal, and they had to do some research and found some federal case law recently that came out that.
What about all those like scooters downtown Tampa? Then?
You mean the ones at the bottom of the river?
The thing is,
Right?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I think it only matters in regards to is in a vehicle crash where cops were not classifying them as a vehicle crash. They're still classifying them as pedestrian versus vehicle.
Right.
Now it's vehicle versus vehicle.
Oh, all right.
So, and it's so new, cops are still putting pedestrian down when it's an e-scooter and whatnot. So,
Right.
But it's going to make a difference because those motherfuckers get hit all the time.
I finally understood what
on
you
those
said.
scooters.
That's cool.
Yeah. That's
I
good.
think that they need to have, because those vehicles, they're too fast to be on a regular sidewalk, but they're too slow to be on the road. And they are causing more accidents than, a
Yeah, it's
normal car.
ridiculous.
And so like how we have here where we live, and then also down in Sun City where it's more prevalent because they have all the go-kart or the golf carts. They should have those really wide sidewalks that are almost like trail width that go along the major highways.
That's like up in
So that people can get off the road on those e-scooters, but there's enough room on the sidewalk that people who are walking aren't going to get run over by these things.
That's like up in Dunedin too. They got all those.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're all over the place up there.
The problem is they don't necessarily operate as vehicles in the sense that they don't obey the stop sign. They don't obey the yields. They just kind of keep on going. But when I drive and I see them, I'm assuming that they're going to stop. Like, I'm assuming they're operating like it's a car.
Right.
And
I'm assuming like they're an idiot and I'm going to run them over.
And
so I have to
probably
avoid
what
that.
I should be doing.
Fuck yeah, more Orange Blossom honey beer.
Right. All right, John. So just to give you a heads up,
Go ahead.
we do a segment called Buderbang. And this is a segment that I usually don't do this. But
This is going to boost your clientele, by the way.
Right.
Well, I mean, you got to
Tenfold.
participate because this is a very important segment of the Drinking with Drew show. We're
What
going
we're famous for.
to read a very short story, a news article that
He doesn't know how to keep it short.
it's going to be short.
what
Typically
she said.
involves a crazy female of some sort.
Okay.
All right. And
It's true.
we need to know, we're all going to give our own answer, if you would boot her out of bed or bang her. Not a relationship. You're not dating her. This is just a boot
One
or
and done.
bang based
Hypothetical.
only on the story. And then after you give your answer, and we all have answered, we're going to show you the photo. And you're going to see if you've made the right decision.
This is like
Okay.
a spin-off of Fuck, Marry, Kill, isn't it?
No.
Kind of, sort of. Yeah, it's just fuck
Smash
or
or
kill.
pass or-
Yeah, smash or pass.
Time for Booter Bang!
Boot, bang, boot, booter bang, boot, bang, boot, booter bang.
I think I'm gonna boot because she's missing teeth.
Why is that?
Is Booter Bang garbage?
Firm boot.
Are we all banging?
We're banging the car too.
Jay said bang.
Dang.
Brad and Keller and Lisa have all said boot.
She was deciding to have pizza for breakfast.
Here we go, because I'm the one that is gonna bang on that one.
All right. Booter Bang. Here's our first story.
Really quick, Keller commented on the gun thing again, says that he mainly has his guns for protection from bears. Not like Jason, real bears.
Yeah, I'm actually on a website for coloradocannabis.org, and you cannot own a gun if you have a medical marijuana card. But
Don't believe the
whether
bear.
or, not,
bad.
whether or not they enforce it is one thing, but all this, everything I'm reading says that you're not allowed to. But
Nah, Joe, that's
Too bad.
I'm just saying.
poor
Okay.
news article.
What,
that you
what,
got.
about, what about Buzzkill Joe's being in it?
Really?
No, I'm just
All right.
want to educate people because it's legal in certain states, but it's still federally illegal.
Yeah,
Okay.
And gun ownership has federal background checks. And all
I would
that,
agree.
so.
Yeah.
Okay, Booter Bang.
All
Sorry,
right.
took us off track.
Okay. A female prison officer in the UK has been accused of having sexual relationships with 2 inmates at the same time and plotting with them to smuggle drugs into the jail. Isabel Dale, 23, was
Bang.
employed at the high security HMP Swalside on the Isle of Shippery in Kent, West London. It was during her work at the prison that she allegedly conducted affairs with Shahid Sharif, 33, and Connor Money, 28. The relationships were believed to have taken place between September 21st and December 22nd.
Did you put him on OnlyFans?
Miss Dale allegedly first started up a sexual relationship with Money before also allegedly conducting an affair with Sharif. It is not clear why Sharif is currently in prison. Meanwhile, Money was jailed for 9 years for killing his best friend in a car crash. All right, that's the basics of the story.
Bang.
You're banging Joe.
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Even though I cannot stand the British accent, we're gonna bang her anyway just to shut her up.
Okay.
Jesus.
All right. We're going to move it over.
This is why they have me on the show.
Yeah. I mean,
We're going to let Brad go next so Johnny D can get an idea of what we're doing here.
Collect his thoughts.
No, this is Brad Stallworth.
Brad Stallworth. Okay, go ahead, Brad Stallworth.
I don't know. I don't like her choices in men because of what.
It's not metal.
It's not metal at all.
The only thing
Maybe
metal about
if-
that story is the bars.
Maybe if they talked about their wieners a little bit, maybe we can
This is his
compare.
impression of one of our other
But
visitors.
oh, okay.
I'm
So
just,
he's making fun of Jason.
I'm gonna have to give it a firm boot. I know
Booting,
I know
okay.
this is
Okay.
surprising
Uh-huh,
that I would
yeah.
do this, but it's just not metal, guys.
Okay.
Come on.
Keller is banging all capital letters.
Yeah, for
Okay,
sure.
what about Mater? What is he doing?
Boot.
Really?
Two guys. I don't know. That's
I mean,
They
they're
didn't say
not
at the same time.
but
Oh,
I don't want no Eiffel Tower action.
Devil's threesome.
I'm good.
the triangle.
Double threesome. I like that one better.
Okay. All right, Johnny D, what do you think?
so I want to follow this.
Okay.
So she's
Prison guard.
a prison guard, and she gets with both these guys, which we're not actually sure if it's at the same time or not, right?
Probably not, but yeah.
Maybe. And she's also in some sort of enterprise with them to smuggle drugs in,
Mm-hmm. So she's an entrepreneur.
but she's
Yeah.
23,
Mm-hmm.
young and dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many 23-year-olds get to be like a prison guard?
That's the confusing
Yeah.
part.
It's like you're not going to take a fresh out of high school, give her 6 months of like of federal law enforcement training, and stick her in a
Yeah.
maximum security prison with a bunch of big dudes.
Yeah.
Lisa's also banging.
Lisa's banging.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
we're gonna go bang.
Bang.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Wow.
I just like her use of time
Yeah,
Very efficient. Very efficient.
because
she's on a career projector.
because while she could have just stopped at the sex, but she turned it into a money making operation as well.
Yeah,
And
True.
you know, jails are probably really boring. So I really appreciate how she's spending her time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
it's a
Makes sense.
community service.
It is.
See,
yeah.
Brad, that's how you have to think about it, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
I've been educated today.
Okay.
Mhm.
There you go.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
I already said bang.
All right.
So.
Still saying
Let's
I mean, she'll probably suck on your
let's
beard
show the
for you if
photo.
you want.
Nice.
Yeah, see,
There
I
you
win.
go.
Oh,
there you go.
See?
Brad.
I'm
No.
surprised they
That's not
put her.
real.
Sure.
that is not her.
No.
That's AI generated Barbie doll.
No,
I am
that's her.
surprised they
That
put
looks
her
like they
in a
guest
prison.
on this show. I mean,
Can we get some sort of a Zoom or no?
Right. Yeah.
How's
Oh, there
that?
we
There you
go.
go.
No better.
Like,
I am
She's a
very
Paris Hilton right
surprised
there.
they put
Now-
her in a prison.
Now,
Maybe it's a reality show.
Do you-
It's Paris
now-
Hilton's tour or something.
yeah.
oh,
So
Wow.
I think
I fucked up.
think
Yeah,
you fucked
you
up.
must have missed out.
It's all
It
good.
was the Jason invitation. That
It was. It melted
threw
your
me
brain.
off. Yeah. Damn it.
You miss 100% of the girls you don't bang.
It's true.
okay.
All right.
Hey, I
Florida.
would bang the margarita.
Now,
Sounds like something I
It
would
would
say.
give me blue balls.
a Florida woman is reportedly facing 7 felony charges after she allegedly pursued a sexual relationship with a boy she met at a funeral. Isla Gonzalez Salinas, 20, allegedly met the child in November 2024 before she and the boy started messaging with one another on a social media app. According to the arrest affidavit obtained by WPEC, Salinas and the child met up to engage in sexual activities on multiple occasions throughout the month of December. While the minor's age was redacted in the documents, she was arrested and charged with 7 felony counts of lewd and lascivious behavior, specifically lewd or lascivious battery of a child victim aged 12 to 16 years of age. that's all we have. Johnny D, boot or bang?
I think you got to boot, right? I mean, you can't have the underage stuff.
Yeah, okay.
That's how I feel. But I sent this one, so I can't. I already know what she looks like.
But
Okay.
I would say that if it was sort of if it was older, and these were just other nondescript crimes,
Meeting somebody at a funeral's bang.
I was just gonna say I really have no problem picking up people at the funeral.
But wait, who is normally at funerals that you go to? Family.
Women who are sobbing.
I mean, that's like,
and
But it's
sad.
like,
that's like shopping at the family reunion.
yeah.
But funerals nowadays are like those celebrations of life, they say, right?
Mm-hmm.
So people are, while they're all dressed in black, right? Which who doesn't love a good black dress? Okay, but they're all dressed in black, but they're smiling, they're celebrating, there's drinking. I don't really see it as that much different than a bar.
Yeah.
Okay.
So obviously the underage thing, that's a negative.
Mhm.
But if it was any other fact pattern, the funeral thing does not turn me off.
Okay.
So
Brad Mater.
She was banging the deceased. I might have entertained it.
Because that's metal.
Necromancy.
That's so metal.
That's so metal.
That would definitely
No,
take something for
necrophilia.
me.
Not
Yeah.
necromancy.
Brad's booting.
Boot.
Pajama Joe.
I want to bang because she sounds cool, but she's got 3 names, so I have to boot because of that.
which
It's like a
which
serial
part is-
killer name.
Which part does she sound cool?
Why not?
I was just trying to figure out which part of the
Wedding,
story.
Wedding Crashers tells you can pick up chicks at it. You can crash a
yeah.
funeral.
That's correct. Yeah. The funeral part
I
was fine.
thinking. I mean, I couldn't think of the movie. I was
Wait, Wedding Crashers. He's like,
Yeah.
this morning I crashed a funeral.
Yeah. What was his name?
He's a
Will
genius.
Ferrell?
Will Ferrell.
yeah, I know, but what was his character's name?
Chaz.
Chaz.
Yeah.
He,
I love that
he may
movie.
be a genius, by the way.
Keller's banging Lisa is booting.
All right, Keller, our traditional bang master. All right, let's show the photo.
Yeah.
Definitely
Yeah,
Selena's.
it could go either way.
I mean, her eyelashes are bigger than her bangs.
She looks like she has 3 names though.
So that's a mugshot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's the problem there.
Yeah,
Like, if
she
you
can-
found
she
her
can clean up
Facebook
well.
or like her Instagram,
We don't do that here.
She'd probably be smoking. Well, we do
Yeah.
sometimes.
We don't dig too deep. You know, we
but
just-
you agree that
Yeah,
if
she
that
can,
if
she
that's
can go either way. Yeah,
if that's her worst picture,
right.
that's not
Right.
bad. That's not bad. Yeah,
Yeah, no.
I mean, she's not a cracker.
no objection.
She has all her teeth
What that
looking at
tattoo on her neck said? I love kindergarten.
Probably.
Oh, shit.
hooked on
Is
phonics.
that too rough?
Too
Ah,
soon.
Hooked on phonics worked for me.
a Nickelodeon reference.
All right, so this is a story that's been going around. You maybe heard about it, but since we're on a roll here, a Florida nurse was allegedly caught by her husband having sex with his 15-year-old son following weeks of reported seduction, and has lost her medical license. Alexis Von Yates, 35, had her single state nursing license revoked last week as she awaits criminal trial for last July's alleged statutory rape of the minor who was visiting his father in Ocala, Florida for the summer vacation. So basically, I'll give you the synopsis. She and the stepson are watching a movie at 1 a.m.
So they Netflix and chilled.
Yep.
Yeah, and basically smoking the vape pen. And she comes on to him, telling him that she's been horny for weeks. On the night of July 26th, Yates put her 2 children to bed and then hung out with her 15-year-old stepson in the living room couch. The pair reportedly hit a THC vape, played video games, and watched a movie while his lineman father was working late. At around 1 a.m.,
This was July.
Yates flipped on a horror movie, Terrifier 2, by the way,
Trying to think if it was after one of the hurricanes.
then further tempted the minor, declaring the movie was boring and stating how horny she was because she had not had sex in 2 weeks and she was on her period.
But
Yeah, I don't know.
Yep.
The pair then
That's-
cuddled closer, with the 15-year-old first kissing Yates on the neck, and the pair proceeded to make out, with Yates allegedly saying, "I wish you were 18 because you're not old enough." said the affidavit.
Didn't stop her, apparently.
This one has a considerable more detail.
A lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
This is a
A lot to
story.
take in here.
Yeah.
He actually got this on literotic.com.
Yeah, I was gonna say this feels like a novel that Andrew wrote.
Yates then kicked off her panties, and the pair engaged in oral sex and intercourse without a condom, according to the affidavit. The unsuspecting father and husband came home from
What,
his
in the
blue-collar
act.
job to discover his wife and son on the couch, completely naked. The 15-year-old ran out of the house, but allegedly heard Yates explain that the child victim looked like his father when he was younger.
Okay, I like that. Yeah.
The father then drove the son to his grandparents' house, telling the boy he ruined his life.
What? Where's the wife didn't do it? The
Huh?
wife didn't ruin his life?
You know.
The actual adult in the scenario?
So that's it.
There's more, but
Yeah,
you have to read-
Judgment is not part of the game, Laura.
It's true. So that's it. We'll leave it at that. I mean, that's a long story.
It was.
So are you booting the kid or are you booting the woman?
No, this is the female. Yeah, I mean,
Keller is banging and Lisa is booting.
Yeah.
She said this is an ew, and I agree. So I'm gonna boot.
okay.
I don't care if she's hot. She probably
I
is
know.
hot. I don't give a shit. No.
Okay.
I can't comment because I read the whole article already, so
Okay.
I've seen this one.
Okay.
You've seen what she looks like?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Okay. Brad?
What are you doing?
No, boot. I don't
Okay.
like anything with kids in it.
I know. It's challenging.
Yeah, I mean, again, with the underage, but
In the period.
if you, yeah,
I mean, what the fuck?
yeah.
Maybe yeast infection, maybe
A UTI.
UTI,
So let me ask. So
kind of wart.
I'm trying to.
God.
What did he say?
I say a lot of shit. I'm sorry. Go ahead, my friend.
All right, I'm back in it. If
You're
the
not sure
kid
you
was-
want to be, but you're here.
Yeah, if the kid was 18,
Yeah.
you know, because again, it's like so easy to just say, well, obviously I'm not sleeping with this girl. She's sleeping with 15-year-olds. That's weird. But if she was 18, is the issue that she's sleeping with the stepson? Is that what you have to?
I don't know. I think it's just all around. You know, she's cheating on the husband.
Right, which is not cool.
Not
right?
cool. And she's sleeping with a juvenile.
Right, but again, in my scenario, I'm trying to make him 18 because obviously this is so easy to just say no.
Right.
Right,
But
boot
she's
because
probably
it's 15.
hot, though.
But if the kid is 18, right, like which is
Right.
okay, right, like
Right.
legally and all that.
Right.
If the kid's 18, I'm trying to figure out like is she doing anything like so sketch that I would kick her out?
But then the next question would be, if she's the stepmom, how long has she been the stepmom?
Okay, that's
Like,
a
did
fair
she
question.
raise him from like
No.
potty
Oh, right,
training
yeah.
age, or is it like
Or
I've
did they
only
just
been
get
here?
married
But
6
here's the
months
funny
ago?
thing.
Right.
We've all seen this porn.
Yes, oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Today, actually.
not involving the juvenile per se, but
He uploaded his photo.
involving that situation. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like
And she was
the
also stuck
stepmom.
in the dryer.
Like, there's
So,
literally, yeah. I mean, there's literally step porn all over the place.
How old is she?
35.
Yeah.
Damn,
Yeah.
It looks like
that's a little
Carrie's
old,
in the
isn't it?
comments. She said boot.
Who?
Carrie.
Oh, okay. Carrie.
At least I'm assuming that's Meatloaf Mama Kane.
Yeah, in my scenario, I'm making the kid 18, and I'm probably gonna bang.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously, in the situation.
In your own mind, you're just making that
right, because again,
scenario
you
up.
know,
Okay.
well, two underage scenarios tonight.
It's
Well, it
it's
happens a lot.
unfortunately very common in Florida.
It's very common.
It's very hard
Oh, I
to
believe it.
find
And
a
most of them
good
are teachers,
story that doesn't
though.
involve
Yeah.
kids. Yeah.
We probably have one or 5 teachers a month.
It's
Yeah.
true.
All right, show the photos.
No objection.
No.
I mean,
yeah.
but-
That's sad.
Booking photo.
Yep.
See the book.
Right.
See that's what I was talking about. The last girl.
Yeah, yeah.
The booking photo.
They didn't look like the same.
Could go
girl.
either way.
Right. It can.
Oh,
see?
okay.
Oh,
That's what
hello.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
And she wasn't getting it for 2 weeks.
I mean,
No,
2
she-
weeks is nothing. Have you ever been married?
She.
Yeah, really.
I'm just saying, if
What's that hanging
she's
out of her
hot,
nose?
like,
Yeah.
why isn't her husband banging her?
Because
why
he's
is-
busy working. It's July in Florida. He's a linesman. He just literally just got off an 87-hour shift on the hurricane cleanup.
Yeah.
He's
I guess
putting, he's
that's
putting the
true.
electric lines back together.
I forgot she was a
That's
nurse.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, a buddy that does
That
that up in New York.
It was
Man.
buried in the leaves.
The one in the guys in New
Yeah.
York, they're coming
So-
down here after the hurricanes to clean up
Dude, he works crazy hours, man.
I had 2 hot nurses
at the same
play with
time.
my wiener once.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Laura was in the
They
same
shaved
room.
his balls too.
I held his hand
Yeah.
while they did it.
Yeah.
Wow, 3-way.
No,
Mhm.
they were
That's a four-way.
they
Oh,
were
four-way,
shoving the
okay.
cath right up his hoo-ha.
Right.
Hoo-ha, hoo-ha.
his
His
hee-haw,
wee-wee.
I guess.
That's always
Yeah,
an
hoo-ha's
experience you
different,
can't. It's something that is just,
Yeah.
you'll live on.
All right.
infamy.
This one's a little different. All right. Our last booter bang of the night.
Is
Like
this the-
everybody's of age.
Yeah.
Right, maybe.
Kind of.
Maybe.
I hope it's the one I sent you.
I'm not sure, Joe. I don't know who
Kindergarten
sends me out.
student.
It is a local story.
Okay.
All right, the backstory. According to the Polk County Sheriff's Office,
Yep.
No, it's not.
Polk County. I boot.
There goes that theory.
a woman,
Thought we were in on one there.
later identified as Crystal Hess, 35, got
Crystal
angry
meth.
with a customer at a store in Polk County on February 8th. Deputies say Hess threw an unopened Pepsi can into the victim's vehicle,
Wow.
then hitting the 3-year-old in the head that was also in the vehicle. The child was not seriously injured. Hess
But
then-
it was unopened. That thing's a fucking brick.
Yeah. Hess then punched and kicked the victim's vehicle, according to PCSO, before taking off in a blue Hyundai Elantra.
Boot.
I'm giving you that. That's all you're getting.
She's driving an Elantra.
I say boot.
No, the victim was
Polk
driving.
County, her name
Oh,
is Crystal. Enough said.
Yeah.
Crystal meth, though.
Crystal.
Right.
Crystal with a Y.
Probably.
So the whole decision is over whether or not we're banging someone who throws a full Pepsi can into a car.
Yep.
Well, considering
That's what you got.
Pepsi
38
fell down
years
to
old.
the 4th most popular soda.
35.
Her
Her
name's
thir-
Crystal Meth.
35. Crystal Hess, but close.
Crystal. It is
Let
so
me
close.
have my own fantasy for once true Jesus.
He wants to do crystal meth, just not the drug. Okay, let him
You
have it.
want to do Crystal Hess. I get it. Okay. So you're banging.
So
Yep.
you're banging.
All
How'd you
right.
guess?
Johnny D.
So yeah, I mean, I don't really have any objection with what she's done.
I
don't
she got
like that
pissed. I mean, she's got a little anger management issue, but I mean,
Keeps answering
That could
like
be
he's
good
in
sense.
I mean, she's a
court.
firecracker.
No objection.
yeah, I mean, that could
No
be good
objection,
sex.
Your Honor.
You know what I mean? Like, she's a little angry.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're all a little angry.
But why did she get angry again? A customer?
Just a dispute that she had with some customer.
Her name's
Um,
Crystal with a Y. And
Yeah, no, I don't have any problem
Whatever
with
else
It
that.
Joe
doesn't
said.
say what pissed her off.
I like a little anger.
I like feisty.
It's passion.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
I'm with you, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna bang.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Joe.
boot. I'm gonna boot this one because I know Drew, and he always tries to like fuck
Sure.
with us.
He gave us two good ones.
I know,
already.
and he's given us two good ones, which is unusual
right.
considering
this-
he's usually gives us a bunch of uggos.
Here's,
Right.
here's the
You
the
think Crystal's
donkey
gonna be like a
behind
guy?
door
Yeah.
number 3,
No,
Alex.
she's gonna be nuts.
Right.
She's gonna be crazy.
Keller and Lisa are both booting.
Double boot.
She's getting a lot of boots around.
Okay.
All
All right.
right.
That's our
Show,
decision.
show my
I
disappointment.
hope I win.
Yeah.
I
don't
mean,
know.
Okay.
I bet you she
No.
cleans up nicely.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I bet you
No.
she cleans. That's a booking photo. I
Yeah,
bet
but
you she
still, I
cleans
mean,
up
she's
nicely.
got the handlebars.
That's fine.
She could. Yeah. She has to get the roots done,
I mean, she's busy.
but
Yeah.
she could probably clean.
She's
it.
definitely,
she definitely
a
clean
meth.
up.
Got nice
No,
lips.
she's not.
Yeah, she
That
does.
is not meth head.
You can't tell until she
Crystal meth.
smiles.
She really only has 2 teeth.
You can tell meth. She doesn't have meth mouth.
You can't tell her teeth.
No, but meth mouth is more
yeah.
than just the teeth.
Meth
That-
spelled HESS.
The Hess truck's back and it's better than ever.
That was a good reference.
Back that truck up.
That was a good reference.
Damn you, that's awesome.
For Christmas this year, the Hess truck's here.
How many of those stupid things did I buy? Jesus Christ.
My dad used to buy it every year,
Oh, I had it.
and even after they closed all the Hesses, he would still
Yeah.
get them from the company. But I think they stopped.
What
them
if
now.
you found out her dad was Mr. Hess and he had a
Oh, he's
fucking
a-
$1 billion?
She's
Double
the
bang.
one.
Yeah.
She's inheriting. She's got a
Yeah, I
fortune.
bought my son a bunch of those Hess trucks.
Okay.
All kinds of. Oh,
All right.
actually, my son had a question for you.
You got one.
since
You got
were,
one more for us, right?
No,
Oh,
that's
wait.
it. We are
Oh.
done. We are bootered out.
I thought I sent you a good one too.
You did?
I sent you the article, I sent you the video, and I sent you the booking photo.
You texted to me?
Yeah. The article, the video, and the booking photo.
Joe.
He
You
says
fucked
you have
up.
to email it to him.
I don't know, man.
Do you get submissions of these?
Only from us.
Only from us.
I just okay.
So if ever you see a great article that you think would
Yeah.
all right. We'll,
fall
we'll
great
save
into
it
this
for next
category,
week.
send it our way.
Okay, there you go.
When did you send it, Joe? How many? Because here's the thing.
Like-
First off,
Friday, Saturday, I don't know.
I could go through my phone of all the shit Joe sends me. I got 50 fucking.
You have 75 AI photos of the podcast
Well, because
people.
you kept asking me for different versions.
By the way, I drank the whole thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna say anything, but I was like every time I would look over at you, you were taking a sip.
Hey, it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
It got warmer. Actually, got better. No, I'm kidding.
And this was Joe's AI version of Johnny DeGirolamo, by the way.
I thought
That he did not approve of.
didn't understand it.
I was trying something.
Yeah, I mean, looks nothing like him, but
Yeah.
according to AI,
The AIs don't look anything like me either, so.
All right, do you want me to email it to you?
yeah. So,
Okay.
I mean, I don't know
It's
if
from
I'll have
Saturday morning, but
Go to the
I'll
next
email it to you.
story.
Yeah,
Go
Joe,
ahead.
I went through Cinco de Mayo since then. I
Yeah,
mean,
he didn't
it's
even
been-
remember ordering tickets to.
Now we're going
Billy
to Billy
Idol.
Idol.
Now
and
we're going to Billy
fucking-
Idol.
I've heard of some late night purchases before. I'm
Yeah.
going to a concert. Fuck it.
I don't remember yesterday. Sorry. Long day, Joe. And you were with me.
I know.
I don't.
So what did you exactly do on Cinco de Mayo?
We went to Mikasa.
Mm-hmm.
He got a shit ton of tequila.
Apparently, I had tequila.
Did you eat like tacos or?
I had quesadillas.
Okay.
Mhm.
But it was literally poured straight into my mouth by the owner
Twice.
2 times. And then after we left Mikasa, we went across the street.
But then you also
To
had 2 or 3
Gloria Days.
Patron margaritas, 2 or 3. And then you had
2.
3. Then you had 3 Modelo's. And then we went across the street. And then you had 2 of like
The
those
big
jumbo.
strawberry margaritas.
And
Yeah.
she gave you the top shelf ones
She
over
did.
there
She
too.
did.
So
Yep.
you were fucked up.
I don't remember coming home.
You called us losers because we didn't want to stay out later. Because it was like 10:30 and we're like, we have to fucking go to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's a Monday. Yes, Keller, he was called a gringo by
I was called a gringo
by the owner.
of the bar. I sure was.
That's hilarious.
It's all right. All right. We got some Drew news we're going to talk about.
So
Well, this one could be considered Drew News then, if you want to.
Okay. You want to do it
There
that
you
way?
go.
Did you send it to me?
Yeah.
I have not gotten a text.
I just sent it as an email
Oh, you
to the
emailed
Drinking
it.
with Drew.
Perfect. I'll pull it right up then, Joe. Let me get to it. There it is.
You got it already?
Yep.
Okay.
Pennsylvania woman defecates on car during road rage incident. I do remember that now.
bang.
Boot.
Well, all right. This is a Brad Mater. Pennsylvania woman defecates on car during road rage incident. All right.
So much that my wife even
Wait, what
told me about
video
this.
did you find, Joe?
The actual video.
Yeah.
Oh, is this a Buderbang?
Yeah, we're going to
all
turn
right.
it into one real quick.
Okay.
It says the incident in Prospect Park on Tuesday started when one driver cut off the other. While it was not initially reported to police, they learned about it through social media. A bystander captured a video and posted it on Instagram.
Keller's already banging.
I know it's being. I know
All
it's being,
capitals,
of course,
too.
yeah. I know it's being joked about a lot. I know there's all kinds of puns, innuendos, and humor online about this. But the bottom line is we are treating it seriously. No, it can't happen in this community. Prospect Park Police Chief David Madonna said. Prima donna.
Bitch.
No town wants this to happen in their own town. The recognition a town gets over this kind of thing is really unwelcome. We don't want this. All right. So basically,
She got cut off in traffic
Got
and
cut
she
off.
pooped on the car.
yeah. So
So she jumped on the hood and shat on it, or she just like kind of smeared her ass on the bumper?
Why don't you
Let's
Buddha
show-
bang first before you saw the video?
I'm booting. That's
Well,
disgusting.
I got to go through the stupid ad apparently.
Let's Buddha bang first before you get to the video.
Lisa wants to know where it happened.
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
Is there tape of this?
There's the actual video from Instagram.
Oh yeah, play it slow,
Allegedly.
man.
If you now here's the thing, if you see the video on any of the news broadcasts, they blur out everything. They skip the part where she does it and they blur out. But if you get the actual video, it's got the full thing.
Wait, so you have to find.
No, I
he
gave
sent you a separate link then.
No, there's the separate one there. I gave you the second link is the actual video.
Oh, that's the okay. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm like I can't find it on here.
Yeah, you're
No.
finding it on.
All right. Oh, this is the Instagram. That's gonna
Yeah.
make me log in, Joe.
Well, I didn't have to log in. I don't even have an account.
It's
You gotta
making me
remember
log
your
in.
password.
I don't even have an account. I watch it without an account.
Don't go to Pornhub. Go to the other one.
Just close it here. Just close it there. There you
Okay.
go.
That's why I have Laura
All
around.
right, so no one's banging
Where's your sound?
except
Hold
for
on.
Keller.
It's
I
so
don't know if there
tiny,
is-
nobody's going to be able to see it, Joe.
Well, I can't control your computer.
We can see it just fine.
The fuck is that?
Oh my God. She literally diarrheaed all over that fucking car.
You gotta back it up and do.
I didn't
open
see it.
I don't know if it'll let you back it up.
Well, loop
It'll
it.
start over. Just give it a sec. It'll
Make
start
it
over.
bigger.
Why?
It
won't,
looks like she
Joe.
spray painted the front end of that car.
Oh, nice.
I mean,
Just refresh the page. Don't close that out. Make it quick. Y'all gotta look.
Can you make that bigger?
Nope.
And she runs back to her car.
It's not the greatest video, but
No, it's
I think
not.
we see the point. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make it big. It won't let me.
I mean, she just shat in her car then too, because that was not a clean shit.
Well, she
Right.
said it was that she didn't even need toilet paper afterwards.
Wait,
All
they
right.
interviewed the woman?
Yes.
All right, I have a mug shot here. Brad, Buderbang.
I would love to say boot just for fuck of it, but I can't.
You can't say boot.
You mean bang?
No, yeah, the other way around. Yeah.
Johnny D.
Oh, we're still.
We're gonna Buderbang. Might as well.
Oh, okay.
We got one
Yeah,
more.
we're
One more
gonna
on the gas
we're gonna
tank.
boot. I'm not.
Okay. No, nobody's shitting on cars. All right.
Yeah. We have Carrie says she boot crazy people shitting in public, and Lisa is also booting.
But
So
Keller's
Keller so
banging.
far is the only banger.
Okay. Let's see.
Joe can't.
He said it
Yeah.
happens there a lot.
I mean, yeah.
Really?
She's so happy about it.
She
too.
looks like
Hi.
she looks like she just dropped her kids off at school, went and got like a 3-bottle wine pack, and then she's like heading back to just like drink her life away as a stay-at-home mom.
She kind of looks like she's going right now.
Yeah.
You know what I
She's
mean?
going again.
On a regular day, I'd bang
Yes.
her all day. Yeah, for sure.
Oh my!
What's a regular
gosh.
day? What's that mean?
Like, as long as she's not
Like a
shitting on my
non-shat
she's not
day?
shitting on my car.
Okay.
If she doesn't shit on my car, we're good to go.
Okay.
What if she shits on you, Joe? Because she
No, that's not
probably
into
has
that
loose
one.
bowels. She can just rear her cheeks up and just shit across the hood of a car.
Yeah.
Are you in trouble for projectile shitting? We have an attorney for you right here.
I mean,
she's probably getting divorced. That's probably the whole
Right.
issue.
Now, do you represent the car or do you represent the shitter?
Yeah, both. I could do both. Yeah.
now,
It's a Hyundai Elantra, dude.
I want to make sure we can talk about this, John.
Go ahead.
Uh-oh.
You did some casework in Orlando
I did
back in the day.
back in the day.
Are we good to
Does that
talk
mean
about
federal
that?
stuff?
Yeah.
All right. So Johnny D, he was on the legal team, I would say, for Casey Anthony.
Right. We were on the civil team.
Right.
So it was actually my first day working for the firm that she got acquitted. She was acquitted on July 5th of 2011. That was my first day at my firm, and obviously, just like everybody else, everybody watched the verdict, and and then our phones started blowing up. I did not know why.
Okay.
Again, it was my first day, and the paralegal said, "Oh well, we represent her on the civil stuff because Morgan & Morgan had sued her, found some nanny, and because remember the story was that the kid was originally taken by the nanny and this, that, and the other, and what they basically tried to do is say it was defamation per se, right? Defamation per se being if you accuse someone of a crime or say they have AIDS or something along those lines, you don't really have to do anything other than just prove that statement was made, and it's boom, onto the damages stage. So that's what Morgan & Morgan did. They tried to say that this poor girl whose name was similar to the name that Casey gave was somehow, some way her life was ruined. And then there was another, if everybody remembers.
It was just a somebody with the name.
Like a dummy, man.
Yeah.
It was a dummy. And then the other person that sued her, there was a couple people that sued her, but the other person that sued her was that Texas EquiSearch group,
Mm-hmm.
who essentially, and their claim was, it was pretty colorable, to be honest with you. I mean, good claim. I mean, they basically searched under the guise that the child was still alive. And at the time, everybody knew, Casey and everybody else knew the child was not alive.
Right.
So that's fraud, right? You're inducing someone to act. That being said, we felt that, on Nancy Grace and all those other shows, these Texas EquiSearch people were, they were getting so much publicity.
Now you just gave Keller some more ammunition for Nancy Drew, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Or not Nancy Drew. Did I say Nancy Drew? Or-
No, you said Nancy Grace.
Grace.
Okay.
But,
Anyway.
yeah. We're one and the same, by the way.
Okay, yeah. So then there was another one and this, that, and the other. But we basically went through her. I mean, we spent about 2 years, and we worked on her case. And
Now, Laura actually went out on the search team.
Right. It wasn't a search team. They just were taking volunteers to
Well,
go
but-
search. They had like a grid search set up. And so every day they would take little groups of people, and me and my sister and one of our cousins, we drove to Orlando and we did a search. And
okay,
we were searching in this wooded area, and the water was higher than our ankles, probably like, quarter of the way down our, it was not like, puddles that we were walking in. And, we found something they thought could have been like, because we were walking in water, somebody found like it would look like a grease slick on top of the water. And we were like in the woods, and they're like, it's really weird. And the leader of the search was like, that could be decomp, everyone out. And so
Right.
like we had to leave, but it wasn't what, it wasn't where she was found.
Was that like volunteer credit when you were in high school?
No, it was after high school. We just went because we're crazy.
yeah.
So we we were walking along this road, and there was like this really deep, like it was just like a little ditch or whatever, but it was overgrown with like shrubs and whatnot. And they're like, look under every bag, anything you can think of, like just search everywhere. So people were like walking with sticks and like trying to like lift up whatever. And at one point, me, my sister, and my cousin like made this chain. I'm like holding on to the back of pants, and the next one's down, and trying to search down this it was a day.
Did you look for Gabby Petito too?
No, I did not. But it was.
She looked for my wiener last night. No
Oh,
success.
wow.
Hello.
So yeah, so
It's a hard one.
spent a
Takes a
couple years
search-
doing that.
It takes a search party.
That's the one they found in the trunk, right?
The kid was in the trunk at some point. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So yeah, a little background.
That's a funny story, man.
Well, I wanted to bring it up.
Buzzkill.
It was his like early on, like obviously in
Yeah.
John's like early days, and
It was cool to be a
Yeah.
part of. There's no
But
question about
you
it.
weren't you weren't on her criminal defense. You were on her civil defense.
Right.
But for her, not against her.
For her.
Was that the
right?
first job you had, or
Yeah.
like right after passing the bar?
The first job I had was working for just like a mortgage foreclosure company, plaintiff's
Okay.
firm. We were working for the banks. I mean, it was 2008, 2009.
Oh
Yeah.
you probably did mine.
Yeah, maybe.
Bastard.
And but I knew obviously I didn't want to do that long
Yeah.
term. So I got with this firm, and we were doing state and federal criminal and civil stuff. I mean, quite frankly, before I went into criminal stuff, I had a lot more federal criminal experience than I did actual state work.
Right.
And then, kind of just went from there. The Casey stuff was just, I mean, it was all, pro bono and all that kind of stuff. And eventually we put her in bankruptcy, and she went through that, and then it was over.
Yep.
So now she pops up every once in a while. And
Yeah.
Mhm.
She tried to be a private investigator.
Yeah.
yeah, she was working for,
Now she's wanting to be a paralegal, I think.
I think
Can-
so.
can we
Yeah.
I
get
think
her on the
she's
show?
working on one. She started a TikTok after TikTok was like off of phones, and then it came back really, after it was gone for a few days. She started a TikTok account, and everyone's like, now she's trying to make money off of TikTok, and so people were giving.
She's got to make money somehow.
Can
Well,
we,
to
can
her
we get her
credit,
on the show though?
She really never did that, right? I mean, she never monetized her story. I mean, she could have she did a thing for, I think it was Peacock or NBC. I'm unsure that she got any money for that one way or the other, but I mean, she could have easily sold her rights.
Yeah, because she was
To a
found not
book.
guilty, so she
Yeah.
could make
Right.
tons of money off of it.
I mean, she never wrote a book. She never did a made-for-TV movie where she kind of lent her licensing. I mean, so to her credit, like she always said, I would never do that, and she still to this day hasn't.
Yep.
But OJ did. If I would have done it.
Yeah, OJ did.
Right.
But he didn't kill him.
R.I.P.
All right, so we don't get too crazy political on the show, but Trump's always in the news, so we got to
He's a
talk about some stuff. Trump orders the reopening of Alcatraz prison.
That's gonna cost more money just to get it up to code
Oh, absolutely.
than it would be to like save money.
Yeah,
You could build a whole new prison from
That's why
scratch.
they closed
Mhm.
it.
Then you could
Right.
fucking to rehabilitate.
have you
that
been to
fucking place.
Alcatraz?
I have not, but I one of my favorite movies in the world is The Rock.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's a
great
good
movie.
one.
I love that
Mhm.
movie. It's one of a great.
Nick Cage.
It was just well
Right?
done. It was exciting. It was just
Thinking the
one of
right
my. It's a great movie, and I just think it would cost more money from everything that I've read about the Alcatraz to begin with. That it would cost more money to rehabilitate the island to get it up to like living code, than it would be to just build a new prison somewhere.
Well,
out
the
in
problem
the
is,
desert somewhere.
Right.
You know?
The problem also, I like Escape from Alcatraz with Clint
Yeah.
Eastwood,
Yeah,
and
there's
it
a couple
kinda-
of the good movies on it.
but it kind of showed what the problem was. It's the salt water.
Yep.
That
It just
and so-
destroys everything.
Yeah. So that's why they were able to dig out of their cells.
But it's so
because-
far away that they have to literally ship by boat oil, fuel, food, everything. And it just costs so much money to get a ferry boat to bring everything over to that island in order to keep it running. and it's
Are they
just a
still
shitload
called
of money.
ferry boats, or is there like a PC?
I don't know.
Good one.
I'm just saying it's
Tugboats.
It's a water boat.
Tuggy?
Ferry, not
Well, there you
ferry.
go. Tug.
No, it's pronounced differently.
Yeah, it might be.
Spelled differently,
So-
maybe.
Now, are you empty? Do you need anything over there, Johnny D?
I'm sipping on the black and tan
okay.
here. Black and tan from Yinling, which is
Anybody want another honey beer? I think we have one or two more, right?
There's one in there. yeah.
there's two more.
They're probably a smidge colder than they were last time.
Smidge.
Smidge. I think I'll do one.
You want one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
yeah. I'm gonna do a honey beer.
Give me your medicine.
Sure.
Okay.
Gotta take my meds. It's 9 o'clock. We're gonna do a couple stories, and we're gonna cut Johnny D out of here. We know he's got a busy day tomorrow.
Me too.
He'll be emailing me at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Um,
What is tomorrow?
tomorrow is Wednesday, the 7th. Man, these things. This company fills this goddamn beer up like
Yeah.
Oh,
Right to the
to the
absolute
T.
top, man. Yeah.
It's insane. What? How old were you when you learned how to drive?
Oh God. Probably 13, 14.
How about you, John?
Yeah, probably I think 15 and a half ish, right before turning 16.
Not 7.
Right.
Okay. So, 7-year-old drives him and his sister to McDonald's. I would have done that, I think. So I learned
Absolutely.
I learned how to drive on a stick shift. So
Yeah, I did too. 3 on the tree.
How old were you
I
though?
didn't. No.
I don't even know how to drive a stick shift.
Yeah.
no, well, I mean, it doesn't tell me what kind of car it is. I'm trying to find.
I'm sure it's not a stick shift.
Yeah.
No.
Who said it was a stick shift?
I'm trying to find it. I had it pulled up and then it disappeared.
Yeah, we had an old GMC with 3 on the tree, and then my buddy had a farm truck that we used to drive out in the farm all the time.
Right.
And same thing, 3 on the tree.
All right. So I want to know what they ordered, and I want to know if it was a stick shift. A Utah mom woke up to police knocking on her door Sunday morning, telling her that her 7-year-old son had taken his 5-year-old sister on a drive to a different city. In an interview with Nexstar, Whitney Bush said that she woke up early to check on her 4 children and went back to bed when she found everyone asleep in bed. Later, a knock on the door alerted her to the fact that her car and 2 of her children were missing. I absolutely had my heart in my stomach. I had no idea what was going on. I was just being told different stories of what was happening. According to Ogden Police Department, they received calls about a reckless driver around 8 a.m. on April 27th.
Give me my nuggets.
Officers began to pursue the vehicle, but soon disengaged when they noticed the age of the driver and assessed the risk to the public. The vehicle later hit a parking strip, and police responded to the scene. What's that?
That's
Your beer.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
It's your pee-pee beer.
Thank you. The vehicle later hit a parking strip, and police responded to the scene of the crash. The children were found unharmed, according to officers. The drive from the family's home in Clearfield to where the car crashed in Ogden was about 10 miles. Ogden. Thank you. Ogden.
Did I miss
Ogden.
the Drew News intro?
No, we're not doing it.
You didn't
tonight,
do the
Joe.
music?
No, we're not.
You suck.
I know. Doesn't say anything about what they were trying to order.
Oh, that would make a difference.
it?
A little
Did they make
disappointed.
it?
Happy Meals?
Is this still Buderbang?
No.
No, it's True News.
Because everything's been underage, so I figured it's like, all right, are we doing this again?
It was a good guess.
How many
yeah.
times?
I mean,
You know what I mean?
if they had a photo of the mom, we could technically Buderbangs.
True.
Okay.
You want another?
No, I'm good here. Thank you for.
You want a Reese's peanut butter cup?
No, but it's nice to have the option.
Oh, wait. They do have a photo of her. Dun, dun, dun,
Oh man, they
dun.
fucked that car up.
Yeah, they did.
It was an SUV too. It wasn't even a small car. That kid
Wow.
was like driving a Ford SUV. Here's the mom.
The kid was driving the
That's
car?
mom, Whitney
Ooh.
Booth.
That is
Hello. Yes.
that is the filter of the century.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
For sure.
airbrushed.
She's a little off, isn't she?
My
Or
kids, I have
one
4
eye is
kids,
higher than the other.
Yeah.
They were all sleeping when I came back in, so I had laid back down. 2 of them in my bedroom, and the next thing I know, I'm getting up, I'm walking into my kitchen, and I have knocking at my door, and I go to open it, and I look out, and my car's gone.
Clearfield Police Department was there to tell her.
I think her boyfriend was there, knocking something else,
How about it?
and she
Not their eye
maybe
socket
forgot
there.
the kids were missing. I don't know.
She had 2 kids were in
Some-
her bed with her.
Something else is going on. I don't believe her.
This is the car. Scroll back up.
That's the car.
Ouch.
Jesus.
Yeah, let's show it.
Whip that fucking tire out.
Yeah.
I could fix that.
I guess I don't really remember being 7 or 5, but I don't know that I was considering driving.
I couldn't even reach the pedals.
But the thing
Yeah.
is, you
Just
know
water.
that's not the first. Yeah. You know that's not the first time that kid is snuck out of the house, because a kid doesn't go from being
Right.
an angel baby to stealing your car to drive his younger sister to McDonald's. So why hasn't she
Should've
put
gone to
things
Taco Bell
in
instead.
place to keep those kids like secure in the house while you're sleeping?
Yeah,
Like
this
higher
is-
locks on your doors, like that kind
yeah.
of thing.
I mean, this is a parent issue. There's no question about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's Dad at?
Obviously, they were starving and said, let's go to McDonald's.
Right.
Because mom ain't going to feed us.
Which is also part of the problem.
Exactly.
At that
Why-
point, just
Yeah.
give them a phone with Uber Eats and let them
Those
order it.
fucking parents.
Right? And this is where Dad calls me and wants an emergency motion.
Right. Exactly.
And that I would
And
take.
if you need to do
Yeah.
I'm not a
that,
big emergency motion guy because, like, what's really an emergency?
They're the
Go
worst.
ahead.
I would argue that mom not paying attention to the kids, and yeah, the kids probably being starving. I'd argue this is an emergency.
there you go.
I've
do the
seen
ad.
some ridiculous emergency
You need to
motions.
do-
Yeah.
Crazy.
I mean, Jesus.
Thank you, Kyle Sokol. I am drinking my water with my medication on the Nasty Savage mug. Thank you. Donated by Kyle Sokol of Nasty Savage.
Wait, hold on. John, have you heard the
No, of course he hasn't.
Don't tell them all the bad news. He might
So-
not want to come back again.
Is that the
This-
one Drew peed in?
No,
You're,
this
you're telling the
this
sponsor of our
cup
show.
was donated to me because we were having a show that was running really long, and he had to go to the bathroom. And instead of saying there's somebody on the phone doing an interview, instead of saying, hang on a minute, I gotta go pee, or everybody else keep him talking, he grabs my fucking cup and he pisses in my cup
Are you still using it?
on air. No,
No.
this is the one that was donated because
Oh,
to,
yeah.
to replace the
yes,
P1
to
he peed
replace
in.
the P one.
Where's the other one?
You're drinking out of it.
A black and tan?
Yeah.
It was one. It was a nicely engraved one with like paw prints.
It was. Yeah. It said
Wow.
easily distracted by wieners with a dachshund like engraved, and it was really nice. Like special ordered by me. Like
No,
He
it, wa-
has
it
yet to
wasn't. It
replace it.
wasn't the
Wash
vinyl
it.
sticker.
Wash,
It was
wash
engraved.
it and reuse it.
No,
It's
I would
a-
reuse it for the same purpose. I wouldn't reuse it as any other purpose, but I don't actually have any problem.
then you're encouraging him to have a pee cup in it.
Yeah.
right.
Well, we
You're
got 'em.
encouraging him to use my cups to pee in. He can pee in his cups all he wants. That was my cup.
We got him a Lowe's bucket.
Well, yeah, he had a bucket in here the week after.
That's kind of funny, actually.
It was a long interview. It was an important interview.
I was going to take a dump
I
in
was-
it, but
I was
saw a
asleep,
Nissan
so-
outside.
Yeah.
I was right here sleeping for the whole.
yeah,
Are Depends a sponsor or no?
they
They
should
need
be.
it, yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody? Jesus
I was
Christ.
shaking up the ice.
Alec Baldwin, Rust, released in theaters.
They finally finished the
They
movie.
finally finished
Holy
it.
Wow.
It's
shit.
been in post production for like 2 years.
Well, it
Been a
got
while.
delayed, Joe.
Did they have to go back and finish
No.
scenes, or was it done by the time the shooting started or the shooting happened?
I
don't
think there
know.
was some that they hadn't finished yet.
Figure you shoot one guy, everything gets delayed.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think it was a woman that died, right?
Yeah.
Oh, don't ruin it.
Helena Hutchins.
I didn't even know the name of the movie. It was Rust.
Rust.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
That was it.
Okay.
Okay. Nobody's seen it though.
No,
Anybody
no.
planning on seeing it?
Nope.
Nope. I mean, I
Is
wouldn't
that
have
the
seen-
one where he killed?
The camera,
Yeah.
yeah, the camera
Yeah,
lady.
yeah.
Operator. Director of photography, something like that.
Yeah.
And there were so many like things that should have not happened. Obviously, you shouldn't have had real bullets. Obviously, the person should have checked. Obviously, even if it's a fake gun, you don't point it at somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but I mean, I guess you're on a movie set.
you assume it's safe
Yeah.
because you're
I
on
don't know
the
if it's I don't know if it was this movie or they were just talking about it in general, but they say that like the prop guns, they'll use real bullets to like, you know,
'Cause
they're
it
out in the
sounds
desert.
better.
They'll like shoot, you know,
Right.
when they're not
I'm
for
sure-
when they're
practice
not
on their
making
day
when they're
off.
not doing a scene, they'll be like, go shoot the can. They'll be like having a
Yeah,
ha fun time with their friends. But that should be where you draw the line. You can have
No,
like
but
if
real
somebody has
bullets
a
should
gun,
never
they
be
want
on site.
real bullets should never be in the prop guns.
Yeah.
So
And
that
the-
there's never that mistake. So
And
you
the-
can, even if they're real guns, do not put real bullets in those guns.
And
Always
the-
have them blank.
That
Because
and,
of
Brandon Lee on The Crow.
Yes.
That was a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
He actually took the gun and put it to his head because he thought it was a blank. And even blanks, if you take a blank and shoot it,
It still
that
hurts.
bottle will smash the bottle.
Yeah,
So,
it's the pressure.
yeah.
So
Well-
I'm watching Tiger King for the first time because we're going to have attorney Joseph Fritz on the show. He represented
Don Lewis.
Don Lewis.
You're watching that for the first time.
First time. I've never seen it.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to come on the show. We're going to talk to him about Tiger King. But there's a cat. I didn't know it. There's a kid that killed himself during
One of
Tiger
Joe
King.
Exotic's
Oh, really?
husbands, boyfriends, whatever
Yeah.
he was. He
That,
thought
that was on the.
he didn't have.
Yeah.
Have you seen that already?
I just saw it.
Okay.
I just saw that episode like last week.
Right.
Yeah.
It was his boyfriend,
The
right?
boyfriend, he thought because the mag was out of the gun that there was no bullet in it, but
Right.
it was in the chamber.
Right.
So he put the gun to his head, thinking, "Oh," and he shot himself in front of somebody that worked in the office.
And the
He was
camera
just off
and
camera.
The camera was
Yeah.
running too.
Yeah.
Actually, to return to one of your questions. So there was a gay divorce that I did, two guys, and I got a call from my client's mother saying that the client was deceased, which I didn't know what from. Right? Could have been car accident, could have been natural causes. I didn't know how old. I didn't know what he, could have been. Obviously given the subject matter, could have been age. I don't know. The boyfriend had taken one of those like circular, like cutting wood, like a belt, whatever
Joe
this is
knows.
A
called.
belt sander.
A belt sander, but
Or-
not a sander,
or
but a fucking saw,
okay,
No,
a
skill
circular
saw or
saw.
something?
and attacked my client with it.
Oh,
Oh, so he
fuck.
killed him with a circular saw.
Yeah,
Oh
Really?
my god!
yeah, a circular saw, whatever the
That
fuck.
is a
Yeah.
terrible way to go.
It was a
Wow.
wild
You
description.
you have to hold that blade guard up in order to do that.
Fine.
Bang.
And
Oh.
however,
You could bang it, dude. That's okay.
but
Hey.
what,
We don't judge.
It was a circular saw.
But here's
It was
the
after,
thing.
actually.
Here's the thing. The guy, I believe that's what happened.
Yep.
What the story apparently is that my client committed suicide that way.
What?
No.
But suicide.
That's what I said.
Suicide won't pay out the insurance policy.
I don't know anything about that part of it.
But murder will.
I'm just saying that. I mean, the mother who called me said that she thought it was the boyfriend because the boyfriend's the one who found him.
Yeah.
Or the husband. That he found him.
Oh,
I think that's a wild way.
It was still classified as a suicide to
Yeah.
this day.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Joe.
Holy
But she
shit.
No,
thinks- she
I
thinks
tried
he
to
did
get them to.
That'd be like-
I tried to get them to get you and me on board,
Yeah.
right? To try and figure that out.
Yeah.
Because my guess is there's all kinds of technicalities with that, right? If someone kills you that way, it's a different
Yeah, the
angle.
angles,
If you're
right.
somehow nuts to kill,
Yeah.
like, do you do it from the side? Do you do it straight
That
up?
would
Like,
be
there's-
really hard to do with a skill saw.
that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Like
Like,
the noise alone would freak me out.
or
Right.
even like, yeah, because you have to hold that guard up.
Unless it's an accident. I mean, you can't.
It was in a bedroom.
Yeah, there's no reason that you should have a power saw in the
In a
bedroom.
bedroom.
No,
Yeah.
there's
Unless
no,
you're
there's a lot
remodeling-
wrong with
unless
that.
you're
As
remodeling or
kinky as
something?
anybody can get.
Yeah.
True. Brad,
That's
Well,
weird.
isn't there that
Sounds
story
like some
where
Brad Mader.
a woman was stabbed like 30 some odd times and they said, oh, she committed
And liked it.
suicide?
Oh yeah, right.
But they're like, her family and everyone's like, there's no fucking way you can stab yourself that many
No.
times. And it wasn't like they were shallow cuts or nicks. Like they
Right.
were actually like stab wounds.
No.
And they
Kinda
still
woozy,
have
man.
it. They still have it listed as a suicide, and they're trying everything they can to get it turned over and figure out who did it.
Because the
I
person
think they
that
think it was
did
like
it.
the
What if
boyfriend
it
or
was a-
something.
I would like to know if it was a skill saw though. Like there could be different ones that could kill them like quickly like that, you know. But
Yeah.
like
It
a
was-
skill saw.
I mean, I
is
have them all across the street if we want to
I
do some
know.
tests.
Are you able to pull any up, Andrew?
a skill.
A circular saw.
How do you want me to label it, Joe?
A circular saw.
Okay.
Because I know what it looked like because I saw a picture of it, but I just don't know. I don't know how to sort of describe it.
Okay, hang on.
I mean, there's a circular
That
saw.
thing?
Yeah, basically. Can you zoom in a bit or
Yeah.
no?
Let's see. I mean,
Yeah, something similar to that. Not that looked pretty nuts, to be honest with you.
Something
Similar to that. It
Maybe,
was.
What's the big Dremel looking thing?
a Sawzall.
Not a Sawzall.
What do you mean?
It has to
a
be
cutting blade
handheld.
on it, round.
It was definitely
Like a cutoff
handheld.
saw?
Should say handheld.
This is like way more
Automatic.
heavy duty.
That's a
Alright,
Sawzall.
so I mean, you can
No. It was circular, like Joe was saying.
you can get a circular saw that's smaller. Like I have a 4.5-inch one.
I think it was. We know, Joe. It's
No,
okay.
I do.
All right.
It's easier to handle.
What's
We
this
get
one? Something like that? That's handheld.
Nah,
Yeah, that's what I have one like that.
It had a handle on top, and it was like I think it's closer to 6 inches. In terms of diameter.
Not a
or whatever.
bandsaw.
You're using words that I'm not
Yeah.
sure about. But
All right, well, let's see. Bandsaw. That, I mean,
There's a handheld
bandsaw.
band.
Yeah, you know what?
But there's a
It was a
handheld
lot-
bandsaw
it was
too.
a lot closer to that, without the crazy handle.
Yeah.
Either way, all the pictures
It's
that we just
circular
saw
saw.
are nuts.
Yeah.
I just am.
It's
like,
very difficult to use something like that to kill yourself.
That's what I'm saying. Like the thing
I
looks
mean-
heavy, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're
It looks
talking about
fucking-
10, 12 pounds. You have to hold it on an awkward
You'd have to
angle
then- and you'd have
in
to
order to
fucking-
like throw it at yourself.
Yeah.
Like,
What do you do? And it was. I mean, he had a fucking. I mean,
Yeah.
he was almost severed.
I mean, it's fast, but
Fuck.
still, like you.
Yeah, man.
It's an awkward position to try to do this.
Yeah.
You would think
You
that
know?
once it hits
I'm
your
call-
skin,
I'm
your
calling
hands are gonna
bullshit.
like
That's
come
what
off,
right,
and
like-
then it's like there's no way.
It's so. I mean, I haven't been around too many of those. It's so fucking loud, right?
Right.
yeah, when Joe's
So-
working in the garage, I have to leave the house.
Yeah. So that's probably one of the more nuts stories that I have, which isn't really family law related, but I guess
mean,
it is.
It's cool.
But that's probably the craziest story
Yeah.
And they still,
Like Joe's-
it's still considered a suicide because they didn't declare
It
it.
was.
a
Yeah. I mean, I
homicide.
never heard from them again. Like I tried to.
Well, he didn't call you again.
No. And I didn't talk to the mom after a couple of weeks. Like she just kind of went in different
I
directions.
wonder if
but-
the husband will kill his next husband.
Yeah,
Like,
probably.
You should like remember that name and then like in
Like-
10 years, like Google search it and see if he's in prison for murder.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. That was a wild discussion to have with that mother.
I'm sure.
Anyway, carry on.
That's pretty funny, actually.
On to the next one.
Powerball winner accused of kicking deputy during fight at Trade Winds Resort.
Good.
Yeah. A man who just won $163.3 million
He's gonna lose it all in legal fees.
Powerball jackpot ended up behind bars just days later after investigators say he kicked a deputy in the face during a fight at a popular beach resort. The backstory. According to an arrest affidavit filed by the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office, James Farthing, no, it's actually Farthing, not Farting, 50, got into a fight with another guest at the Trade Winds Resort shortly after 11 p.m. Tuesday. When a deputy tried to break up the fight, investigators say Farthing kicked the deputy in the face and tried to run away. Deputies arrested Farthing on charges of battery on a law enforcement officer and resisting arrest. His girlfriend, Jacqueline Fightmaster, was also arrested.
Her name is
Wait,
Fightmaster.
can I just say he's actually pronouncing that correctly?
Yeah, exactly. His girlfriend, Jacqueline Fightmaster,
Bang.
spelled exactly the way it sounds, was also arrested on disorderly intoxication.
Can we bang her?
We can. Joe, do you want to bang?
Oh, for sure.
Banging. Brad.
Yes.
Okay. Johnny D.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay.
'Cause whether or not she went along for the ride, she backed her boy's play.
Yep.
And
All
she's
right.
like, if you're getting arrested, I'm getting arrested too.
There
Fuck
needs
it.
to be on more shows. by
That's
the way.
loyalty right there.
I actually do have an honest question though. If
Sure.
you won the lottery in that amount, are you taking a lump sum or are you doing the annuity thing?
You know, if I trusted the government, I would do the annuity.
Oh, wow,
But-
that
Right.
took a turn, didn't it?
I don't think that they're going to be around for 30 years to pay me. Is it 20,
Are
30
you
years?
going to be
20,
around for
30?
30
Yeah,
years?
exactly.
Yeah,
I
give me
would
the
take the
money.
lump sum. I would be happy with the lump sum.
Yeah, because the lump sum is, you got to think, even if it's just half of 160, that's
Yeah.
80.
Yeah.
I can
That's
live off
enough.
of it.
Like
Yeah.
that seems, that
Plenty.
seems like the right move.
Yeah.
But every single lottery person who wins takes the lump sum and then
And
they're
they
filing
blow it
bankruptcy
all.
within
Right.
like 5 years. Like they just don't know what
Well-
to do once they get all that money.
I would take the annuity
You got to start a podcast.
because
Yeah.
it forces you not to blow it all. And it's like, what, really, if you can live, like, do you really need more than 20 million or 15 million a year? Like, what are you going to do with more than 15 million?
I agree to an extent, but
But the government, does the government give you the annuity for you to control, or is it something in the government's control and they're like, okay, we'll give you
I see what you mean.
right, who's in control of it?
So in other words, do they give you the full amount, but like you give it to like New York Life or some
Right.
some
No,
North,
they actually
administer
keep it.
because they want to they want to keep
But-
your money and keep it in their pension
but
system.
here's the deal. So I get the annuity.
But they pay you
I
over
give them
25
I
years.
give them my checking account routing number and all that shit. And then let's say 6 years later, I don't like my bank and I want to change banks. Now I got to call fucking Tallahassee
So what?
and say change my routing number to my lottery winnings. I mean,
you're collecting $15 million a year. Do you think you're slightly inconvenienced to change what
Where
account
are you
it goes
getting
to?
where are you getting that from?
Well, he said they want 160 million. I'm just throwing a number out there. Like,
Oh no, I think Andrew's right. I think they spread it out over a considerable.
it's over like 29 years or something like that.
yeah.
But
Right.
still, I mean, if you're making 10, 15, 20 million a year from the annuity, do you really need to collect? Oh, you
I don't know that it's. Am I off? Or am I wrong?
I mean, I don't know how much.
If
I don't know.
That's only 6 years. If it's 10 million a year.
Okay, I'm just throwing a number. I don't know how much the person
Oh,
wants.
it was 160.
He won
Joe, what was your college degree in?
Advanced math.
Is that for real? He said it. Maybe you missed it. It was 160 million.
I'm just throwing like a number out there. Like
If it was the $1 billion winner,
Yeah,
you're
for
probably
sure.
right. It was only 160. So I think Andy's
even if they're giving you $2 million a year,
right.
like, still,
I don't disagree.
yeah, like you can't spend more than. I mean, I guess you could.
Yeah.
I mean,
You
you're not buying a
can.
helicopter every year.
But okay, let's say you do the house, the boat. Your mom wants a car. Your dad wants. You're gonna.
And that's the problem. The people
And then
won't
your
have
Aunt
their hands
Sally's
on it.
coming out of the woodwork
Yeah.
and she needs a new car.
Fuck them.
And, yeah.
They ain't getting nothing.
All right, Buderbang.
What? No.
Fight Master.
Oh, Fight
Fight
Master.
Master.
Everyone
Bang
said
for
bang.
sure.
Everybody's banging Fight
I've
Master.
already seen this, so I can't do it.
Whatever. Show it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's her booking photo. She's happy to be there. She's like, I'm gonna marry this millionaire dude. I don't care what happens. I'm going to jail with him.
That really is farting.
I know it looks like it, right?
Looks like he is farting right there.
Farting.
Hey, James Farthing, I'm sure you bonded out. Come on the Drinking
There's
with
no
Drew show.
R. Oh, there is an R.
There is an R. What are you talking about? Jesus. What about me being fucked
I
up?
did not go to college for an advanced
You did
literature
not.
degree.
All right.
English
Hey,
degree.
one more question.
Yeah,
on
go
that,
ahead, go
though, is like, even if you take the lump sum and you end up with, I don't know, supposedly $80 billion or whatever the grand
It's
prize.
usually half. It's usually
Yeah.
they take about half. Yeah.
Sorry, you go,
And taxes and all that,
160, you get 80.
Right.
I mean, literally, you could quit your job and then your whole job would actually be managing that money, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So even like with interest alone, you're going to be making
Wow.
Oh, no
a
question
lot
about
of
it.
money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If-
give me
if-
a lump sum.
If you put it into
Right.
an account and getting all that interest.
Right.
But the problem is that everyone takes that and buys the house, buys the boat,
Right.
and now that 5 years later they're out of money
Mm-hmm.
and they're
Not
broke.
me.
Well, not you.
I'm frugal.
I'm
Yeah.
sure everyone says, not me.
Yeah.
I mean,
All right.
a Lambo.
How you doing
maybe.
on time, John?
Yeah, I'm good. A couple more stories.
I have about 4 minutes.
All right, we'll do one more
That's
story.
what she always
One more
says.
story.
All right. Couple shocked to find scary note hidden in new home. What the fuck is that? All right. They say a woman named Anita Rayner and her husband, who moved into a new home a few months ago, discovered a creepy note warning them about something inside.
New or new to them?
New to them.
New to them.
Okay.
Yeah. The duo moved right outside of Seattle, Washington. One night when the couple was in their kitchen chatting about house renovations, they wanted to make suddenly found an eerie handwritten note in one of their cabinets. My husband and I were just chatting in the kitchen, deciding how we should set up one particular display cabinet. Rayner said to the outlet, I got down at an angle and suddenly let out a cry of, what the F is that? It was this really well hidden bit of paper tightly tucked into the top of the cabinet, totally out of sight unless you got all the way down like I was looking up, she explained. The folded up note read, "Don't look under the floor." When
So
Rayner,
what did she do? She looked.
How
under the
many
floor.
people would start tearing the fuck out of their floor?
I mean, would you? That's the thing.
Yes.
When
Yeah.
Rayner turned over the note, it had a series of random numbers: 290653004893882.
+1.
Now
By 80 million.
show the note. It doesn't really come out very well in here, but this is kind of where it was.
Oh, wow. Scary.
Yeah, very scary.
Well, the other one is, don't look under the floor. But if there's a drawer on top of that, it could have like been in the drawer and then like fell out because it was too full. But still, don't look under the floor.
Says, while most people probably wouldn't be able to sleep after discovering the spooky message, the couple surprisingly found it funny. It was both hilarious and kind of exciting to think that there might be some hidden mystery here. Curiosity
did you ever
got the
find
best of
something
them.
Did you ever find something stuck behind a drawer that you didn't know from the previous owner?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A sticky book.
You
Sure,
always
yeah.
figure that shit
Sure,
out.
that's from the previous owner, right? That's from the previous owner, right? Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, right. We're going to believe that one.
Is that like a glamour magazine or something? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Man.
When
I'm going to tell the story. Again, for the 5th time on this
it's so
show.
much funnier when I tell the story.
No, it's not. You can,
It is, considering who my ex now is.
It's true.
It
Okay,
is.
let's combine this. We're gonna not tell another Drinking with Drew and Drew news story because again we're gonna explain this. Okay, I lived in Ybor City.
Right.
Okay, the condos, the quarter. I lived there for 10 years. All right. We have a group page, and on the group page, people commonly put up, stuff for sale, stuff for free, yada yada. So somebody put up that there was a coffee table for free.
Nightstand.
It was like it's like a credenza. It's like
Yeah,
these two
whatever.
large drawers with like one of
Whatever.
those pull-out shelves
Yeah.
that you can like use like a desktop kind of thing.
Yeah.
Sure.
Which I could
Dark
use.
wood color,
Dark
it's nice.
wood, whatever,
Yeah.
I could use. So
It's still in the hallway.
I went out to their building. It was a totally separate building. Then we have 3 buildings in the quarter.
Yeah.
They lived in one building. I went over and grabbed it for free, and it was a gay couple that lived there. And I went there, I got it, and it was a very heavy fucking thing. I literally dragged it from one building to the next.
It was,
Brought it over to my condo, and literally I had it for
years.
4 or 5 years.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Buy this house.
You want me to start? Since
Move into this house.
I'll take over. Since
Laura moves in with me.
Mm-hmm.
You can now take over.
So he was using it as a nightstand.
Right.
So the bottom drawer got left open one day, and so I don't remember what you kept in the
By
drawer.
my cat.
No, it was open, so she was able to get into the drawer, and then the back panel of the drawer didn't go all the way to the top. It was like half piece of wood, so she was able to get behind the drawer.
Okay.
And I didn't realize she was back there, so I go to like close the drawer, and it's like not going anywhere, and she's like, "Meow," and I was like, "Oh gosh!" So I pull the thing, and I'm like, I see, oh, she's able to get back there. I like put my hand back there to like scoot her. And I was like, well, let me make sure she didn't knock anything in there. 'Cause I think you had like your socks in there or something like that at the time. So I'm like reaching back there and I'm feeling what's in there. And I feel something and I pull it out and it's a book that's like a gay sex romance book or something like that. And I kind of shit my pants because I can't remember if it was before or after. I found this book. I think it was after I found out that my ex before him is now homosexual.
Oh.
So I'm sitting there like, not again.
Oh, wow. That's funny. That's really funny, actually.
So then I take the book and I'm like, I think you lost something? And he's like, what the fuck is that? I'm like, oh, thank God. I breathed again.
I swear it's not mine, Dad.
And she tells me where she got it, and I'm like,
The pages were stuck together.
oh my God.
That's
It all
wild.
made sense because
I think there's one clue you're overlooking. It's probably the cats.
it's true.
Right.
It's true. Damn gay cats.
That's wild.
He tried to blame it on the cat too. You've been outed.
Oh, gosh.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No.
Not at all, Joe.
Did they figure out what was under the floor?
No.
Okay,
All right,
perfect.
So,
Story over.
back to they were
End of
expecting it to be some number relating to at least something. They didn't give up. The couple took on the challenge as if they were playing a game of Clue. We divided it by our unit number, zip code, year of the building was built, to see if we could get a whole number or number of something. No luck. Their last resort was posting it to Reddit to see if any helpful commenters could help them solve the bizarre
You
mystery.
need a cryptologist.
A few people commented on a post insisting the code on the back was a library card. a number for a library card, probably the name of a book. Imagine you tear up a floorboard and find another note that just says, "Made you look."
Dick.
That's all I got. All right. We want to thank Johnny D for coming out. Johnny DeGirolamo, InLawWeTrust.com.
Yay.
Enjoyed my time here. It was
Thanks
great
for driving all the way out here.
If you're not getting the D, he'll give you the D.
That's true.
It was a great time. I really enjoyed it.
We thank you for
Glad
coming out.
we didn't scare you away.
Anytime you want to kill a Tuesday evening, you're definitely welcome. Hopefully we didn't scare you away too much.
Yeah.
You know. I will expect an email at 6 a.m.
You'll get it.
He's an early riser for the most part. Like
5:15 every day.
5:15. So, you know, yeah. I mean, I used to be an early riser, but now I'm working more late cases. So, you know, I try, you know.
You do you, man.
I wake up
He does that a lot.
Yeah, I bet.
Today, actually. All right. Anybody have anything before we go? Brad Mater.
For that reason, I'm out.
You're out.
I'm enjoying this Guatemala beer.
Oh, yeah.
Check out
Pack beer.
Check out the Must I Kill Ramones tribute song.
Yeah,
if you haven't.
Yeah.
That was a good cover of that, and make it blow up on YouTube so I can retire.
Woo!
There you go.
Got to get monetized.
It's
There you
on
go.
YouTube. Search Must Not Kill on YouTube.
You'll enjoy it. It's a good cover.
And while you're at it, go ahead and subscribe to the Drinking with Drew show. If you are really lucky, I'll send you a sticker. I'm getting new shirts made, so be prepared.
Can we send out a congratulations to our buddy Jason? He hit 100,000 subscribers on his
Yeah.
YouTube channel.
It's true. Jason
Good job,
Stalwart.
Jason.
Simon's
Nice job,
coming to
good
give
job.
him love. You got it? Just take it.
Yep. He's like, you're as furry as me.
Sit down.
All right. All right, guys. It's been the
Sit
Drinking
down.
with Drew show. We had a good time with Johnny D and drinking the honey beer.
Yep.
We'll see you next week, Tuesday, 7:30. See you then.
Peace.